Blur, Out of Time on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me is Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. I really like that Blur track. I think it's the best thing they've ever done.
Blimey.
So
strong words.
They can quote me on that if they want.
Oh, yes.
On their,
sure
on their,
rush to.
On their, you know, one of their albums.
Yeah.
If they wanted. Well, listen. You're lucky I'm here, Steve.
Okay.
Right? You can see, you know something's happened. I've done my back in again.
Right.
I've got a special chair in here. I'm in agony, and I'm on the strongest painkillers I can get.
Okay.
I feel a bit... Karl, I had to call Karl up today and say, look, I don't know if I can make it in, can you come and get me? He came over to my house, we got in a cab and he got me here, right? While he was round my house, Jane showed him, sort of camcorder footage of how I actually did it.
Oh, how you hurt your back?
And I wanted Karl to tell you, because I was actually worried that if I didn't turn up, what you'd say to me.
Yes.
What was I doing, Karl?
Right, so I get round to his place, right? Says, right, hit play on the video, right? Have you ever seen a gorilla having a fight?
I think I have, yeah.
It was like that. Him and his mate round at his place last night decided to sort of have a bit of a wrestle.
Yes.
It went on. I mean, how much footage?
Honestly, it was like a scene from Women in Love.
Yeah.
We'd had about 5 fights. We had to stop at one point because his arm was bleeding.
You'd had about 5 fights?
Yeah, well, we were wrestling. We were doing wrestling, right, in the... just behind
the lounge?
Yeah. Well, on our knees and then sort of like doing, you know, and I kept winning with an arm lock. Right.
Yeah.
And then the last time he sort of threw me and I went on my back and my back was done. And I was, you know, it was Ian Morris.
Yes.
It was, you know...
Yeah, isn't he the commissioning editor of comedy at Channel 4?
yeah. And the funny thing was that we'd had lots and lots of wine, and we went.
You surprised me.
Yeah, right. And we went, come on. I'm gonna film this. And the time we filmed, I said, film this, and she went, oh, right. And I took my shirt off. So I'm there, and you can just hear slapping. Oh,
why? Can I just ask though? I mean, it's a Friday night. You know, you have a couple of drinks, you know, some intellectual conversation. Yeah. How does it get round to? Do you fancy wrestling me?
Well, and
having it filmed.
Well, he was on the couch, but I kept sticking my socks in his face to annoy him. Right. Yeah. And then he hit me on the shin, and I got sharp shins, and it hurt. And I was going, I'm going to smack your face, and he's done kickboxing. And it's that thing like, you sort of joke, and they go, come on then.
Yeah.
And you start, have you ever seen the thing when Jack Osborne fights that skater dude?
No.
On the Osborne? I was very much the Jack Osborne figure.
Right, yeah, the fat bloated guy just come out of rehab.
I'll tell you what it was like, Steve. Have you ever seen, like, the David Attenborough stuff? Where, like... a tiger will be ripping a deer's head off, and you think, why doesn't the camera crew stop it?
Yeah.
You sort of watch, you're thinking, why was Jane just letting this happen?
Why is she not stepping in and intervening? Yeah.
And the thing is, she said, right, you've seen enough, haven't you, and stopped it, so I don't know how much footage you got.
It wasn't much. But
because your lounge is not huge, and there's not much space between the back of the sofa and the table.
It doesn't need enough. It was just a pin or a submission, so it was all over with like one of us throwing the other one on the back.
And how does it? I mean, how do you start with a wrestling match? Are you both stood up, or you all
on your knees, and you sort of like go together like ratting seals?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Like a giant walrus.
It's not gay. Play a record.
Could we put that online? Could we get that on the web? That I would love to see.
Better Rod Stewart?
Yeah. Stuart May.
Indeed. You need to say no more. If people don't know what it is from that information, forget them.
Gervais Merchant Pilk.
Exactly.
All right?
Exactly. Rick, I was out last night, I was in the Crouch End area, and I passed things upset me like this. It was a restaurant, it was a little French restaurant, but you barely noticed it. You walk past, it was like a row of houses, and a little French restaurant there, open, it was kind of summer evening.
Bistro.
No one in there, Rick. It was about 10 to 10. I'm thinking if no one's in there at 10 to 10 on a Friday evening, it's doomed. And it really upset me. It genuinely upset me, because I always think about the little French guy in there. You know, he's put all his money into that. He's convinced his wife to do it.
Yeah.
You know, she's not convinced, but she's a great cook.
Eve.
Exactly. And it's already going down the pan.
Do you know why? You don't want French food on a hot summer's night, you want Mexican food.
Well, indeed, some kind of tapas. But,
exactly.
But then because we were just discussing other things that upset us, and like glimpse of...
War.
Well, true, obviously war. I mean, obviously I started with war, famine, disease, SARS, that sort of thing. And then it came down the list to, worried about people who manufacture fax machines.
Why? Because of technology.
Well,
moving on.
I mean, if say you're making fax machines, you're a little company, you make fax machines.
A little what?
a little company.
Oh, right.
You're making fax machines. Are you allowed to use email?
What, like, if you work for Coke, you're not allowed to drink Pepsi publicly?
It just seems like I'm assuming the fax machine sales are plummeting.
Now, the thing is, right, now I haven't got a fax machine, you're right, I've got email, but I much prefer a fax.
Well, yeah,
because you get it, it comes out the other side.
Yeah, but...
Do you know what I mean? It is what they've sent, that's what's great about a fax.
But you can print off your email, can't you, and then you've got it in hard copy.
Wow.
It's sort of instant.
But, I don't look at the emails, the fax comes out, it's there, it goes, it's like someone putting a little post note into your face. Do you know what I mean? You go, oh yeah, I'll read that.
Yeah.
Whereas email, you got email, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, no, but what worries me is whether I'm assuming fax machines are just, I mean, I don't know if there's anyone listening who works maybe for a fax machine organisation.
08700 800 1234. If you're in the fax industry, give us a call, tell us, what sort of figures.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
We want to go down 17%, something like that. in the southwest.
Exactly, those are the kind of stats.
But, have you got fax machines yet in the north, Karl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're loving it, aren't you?
I like getting letters.
Well, no one sends letters anymore, do they?
You like getting a scroll from a man on a horse.
Yeah.
Saying
When do you get letters?
My mum still sends me the odd letter.
Sure.
Even though I call, she likes sitting down at a table and...
Yeah. So what, you call and ask the questions, there's no reply, and then you get a letter a day later going, question 1, yes, I am well.
Yeah.
Question 2, yes, your father's well.
Yeah.
Oh, it's nice though, isn't it?
Yeah, letter's nice.
It's nice to receive a letter, yeah. It's always nice to receive a letter.
Particularly if, you're on a sort of expedition.
But what does annoy me though, you were looking at them the other day, you were talking about the pictures on them, postcards.
Yes.
Don't like them.
You don't like postcards?
No, they annoy me. And just because it's never anything of any interest, and the fact that even though it's been sent to you, you're the last one to read it.
Whenever I used to send my mum a postcard, every time I sent it on, I'd horrify her by putting on it, having a lovely time, does that pig of a postman still read all your letters? And she'd just be horrified, just be terrified he looked at it or something.
This is what worries me. I've always assumed that people would read a postcard. If I was a postman, I would definitely read every single postcard. Yeah. So if you're on holiday,
What do you mean? You wouldn't have a lot of time left if you read every postcard.
No, but as you were posting through the letterbox, you'd have a quick look, wouldn't you, to see what they were up to? Because that's why I never used to write anything of any interest on a postcard, because I didn't want to, I didn't want anyone to sort of know what I was up to. Let's say I was on a baudy lad's holiday, I would just write nice sunny, got myself a lovely pair of shorts. Like that. I'd keep the truth, Rick, for when I got home.
Well, he's looking forward to going on holiday now, Karl, because he's got some prescription lens sunglasses. We'll be talking about that after the break.
Bit of darkness.
Look forward to that.
Yeah. An amusing story about a man wearing glasses. Oh, the darkness growing on me. It certainly is on XFM 104.9. Love those boys. Keep the guitar riffs up, lads. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant.
Oh, it's good to see that your back pain has not impaired your DJing abilities.
Yeah, I know. Well, I'm a professional. I'm a professional.
You soldiered on.
Yeah. Put the glasses on for Karl.
Well, see, now, because I wear glasses normally, I've always had problems with glasses. The thing about glasses is it stops you from doing so many things, and you may not realise if you're a non-glasses wearer, certain things that you can never do. Like, for instance, I have never been able to go into the mosh pit at a gig and get carried above everyone. When they carry you above everyone on their hands. Because I knew someone would just grab my glasses.
You don't need to, you can see from the back. That's the good thing about you at a concert. You can actually stand at the back and look over.
Being able to at least jump on the stage and do a stage dive and all the rest of it. So that's one of the things I've missed out on. Missed out on, sport really, because lots of boxing, for instance, I could never do. I can never do boxing, never do wrestling. So our big championship showdown is not going to happen.
We'd probably be the same weight category.
Well, possibly.
Your reach.
Yeah, exactly. I remember when I first got glasses, I only had to wear them occasionally. It meant I couldn't see things a long way away. And obviously I got them, but I was at school and I was a bit self-conscious, didn't want to really tell anyone I had glasses. I didn't reveal to anyone I was wearing them. So I used to go into a class. I remember being in science, and we always sat in the same spot, and I was sat right at the back, and I couldn't see what was on the blackboard. But I didn't want to put my glasses on because I didn't want people to know I had glasses. So I couldn't see what was being written on the board. And you have to copy stuff down from the board, science equations, things like that. I had no idea. So I'd have to try and copy off someone next to me, but that wasn't always possible because I had to do it surreptitiously. So what I took to doing was sharpening my pencil every sort of 35 seconds. Going up, memorising what was on the board. And I got a D in science.
Oh, that's awful though.
It's a tough thing, glasses. glasses.
So
it really is. When you first start wearing them, if you're young.
It was education versus vanity.
Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it?
And now he thinks, well, hold on. He's sorted out his hair. He's quite stylish hair. Because when I met him, it was like, I mean, words were gummage.
Yeah.
He won't mind me saying that.
Yeah.
His glasses were, I mean, idiotic when I met him, and he's got some stylish glasses now, so he sorted that out.
Yeah.
His clothes, he's quite a fashionable bloke, and when I first met him, it looked like
a nerd. Yeah.
So, it's step by step, and with these on, I think you'll agree. Pop them on, Steve.
Well, you know,
imagine him on the beach.
Close your eyes, Karl. Are they closed? I can't see. I've taken my glasses off.
Oh. Yeah. So that's a weird thing as well, isn't it?
Yeah. There you go. What are you laughing at? Look, what are you laughing at, Karl? There's nothing funny about those.
Stop smirking. I can see through them.
You can see they're not real sunglasses, they're prescription lenses, so you can see you now.
You see, I never knew you had to do that with sunglasses. I didn't think you had to have the...
Right, yeah, when it's bright outside, people who wear glasses don't need to wear them.
So they're looking cool, but they're bumping into stuff.
No, but if your eyes aren't that good, then the sun shouldn't be bothering them. Do you know what I mean? No, I always wondered about Roy Orbison. Why was he doing that?
What?
Roy Orbison always had shades on, didn't he? And he was blind and stuff. It's like, what's the point of that?
Well, because I'm guessing. Well, I don't even want to. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Roy Orbison was blind, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Was he? I thought he just had very, very bad vision.
No, I think he was a blind fellow.
I don't think he was blind.
Was he not?
No, I think he had very poor vision.
Wear him, you know.
I don't know what this conversation is anymore.
No, well, once again, we've introduced Karl into the equation. He's just gone off on a completely bizarre tangent.
When he went, oh, I'm going to pick up my prescription lenses. And we had to wait. And the bloke came and said, who's it for? And I said, oh yeah, Mr. Merchant, here they are. And as he was getting out, to try and embarrass Steve, I went to him, they are the exact ones that Keanu Reeves uses in The Matrix, aren't they? He went, what? I went, no, I'm joking. But, yeah.
I'll tell you what frustrates me. Can I just say, as a glasses wearer, this is just a note to everyone out there who isn't a glasses wearer. When people ask constantly to try on your glasses, can I try on your glasses? And they try them on, and they always say the same thing. Oh, I can't see a thing. What were you expecting? X-ray vision? No.
Yeah, I know.
Don't ask. If you're a glasses wearer, you don't want people asking to try on your glasses.
But I think they don't realise that by going, oh God, your eyesight's bad.
Yeah.
It's not like going, you know what I mean? It's not like saying, let's have a go with your calipers. Right, and popping them on and going, God, bloody hell, you can't walk very well.
But it's a form of disability, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but it's one that doesn't impair that much. It's an inconvenience that you maybe have to put glasses on all the time.
Did I mention the mosh pit thing?
No, but it's not, yeah, but you're not, what's your vision? It's just blurred, is it?
No, I can't see anything. It's really bad.
Is it really
bad? Yeah, if I take my glasses off, you are just a blur. I see now, I can see nothing. It's just a couple of bald heads. And I know only one of you's bald, so...
You're looking at Karl twice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Karl, it's your Vision 2020.
Well, there you go. That's Steve's eyes on XFM. Next week, Ricky's knees.
Bit of vinyl?
Yeah, no, listen, I want to mention this. This is from this new Morrissey compilation. It's a new series. I'm assuming a number of different rock stars are going to do it. It's called Under the Influence, and various rock stars get to choose, obviously, songs which they grew up listening to and that have influenced them. And this is from Morrissey. He's the first person to do it. And there's some stuff on there which is a bit odd and a bit oddball, and there's some stuff which is good. And there's the Ramones on there, and Nico and Patti Smith. But this is one of them. He, obviously, famously, Morrissey was a member, I think he was the president of the New York Dolls fan club in England. And this is from there, and this is Trash. The New York Dolls, Trash, from this new compilation, Under the Influence, compiled by Morrissey.
Are they the original punk band? At 08700 800 1234.
Well, everyone knows they are.
We don't want your calls.
Everyone knows they are.
Don't call in. Don't call in.
Please. We're not interested.
No point.
Rick, it's 1:30.
Yeah.
Adverts?
Yeah. Excellent. Coldplay and the Scientists on XFM 104.9 with Gervais, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. We saw an interesting sight on the way here, didn't we, Steve?
Yeah.
We came in yesterday to
plan the show.
To plan the show, sure. Yeah. We actually annoyed Karl for half hour and left.
Yeah.
But a bloke with a completely tattooed face.
I don't know what stage you are in, what stage you're at in your life when tattooing your own face is a good idea.
But this wasn't sort of like, you know, tribal or religious. It was a bloke just had a sort of tattoo on his forehead and around his eyes, professionally done. It looked quite old, so I don't know if tattooists do that now. I think they've probably got to watch themselves. But I just think
there's not rules about what you can tattoo. I'm assuming if you're a tattooist, you can do what you want. You can tattoo anything.
I wouldn't have thought. There's probably some comeback, isn't there? I mean, I certainly, you know, I think you've got to be sober. I think you've got to be over 20, well, I don't know,
right.
over something, and I wouldn't have thought many tattooists would tattoo someo's face, would they?
Well, I don't know. Have you met tattooists? I mean, I don't want to slag them off, but they are like, you know.
I know why they're big.
Well, exactly, and they've got needles.
A lot of them are big,
but they do seem like they live in the periphery of society. A lot of these. But
people. I just wouldn't tattoo someone's face. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I've been worried.
You wrestle a man to the ground and then hurt your back. But no, you wouldn't tattoo someone.
No, I know. Does everyone ever regret it? I mean, I'm sure some people regret a tattoo. Whenever someone shows me a tattoo, I go, that's brilliant. Because I can't bear to go, that's rubbish.
Yeah.
I just think that because they can't change it. There's no point.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? I go, it's brilliant.
Well, I read in the paper, was it a man or a woman who had just had Beckham on their arm? Just not a picture of him, but the word Beckham tattooed on their arm, spelt wrong.
Oh,
they missed out the K, or maybe they missed out the C, so it was Bekkam.
Oh no.
Anyway, it was just spelt wrong. I mean, firstly, why do you just have the name of David Beckham on your arm?
Home tattoos are the best, though.
Well,
that's done with a pin and a sort of some ink in prison. Like with skins.
Yeah.
And it's sort of wonky because they've done it in a mirror.
Yeah.
What does that say? Well, read it. Tanuck. Yeah, I did it in a mirror.
Profanity.
Yeah.
Would you ever toy with a tattoo, Karl?
No, I mean, I've told you about me Uncle Stan before, haven't I? The tattoo Stan.
No.
He's just covered in them. It just looks a mess. Do you know what I mean? You can be wearing the best suit in the world, but you still look a scruff.
Sure, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once you have it done. Well,
some tattoos, can be quite tasteful.
No, but he was covered. It was all like, cut hair on his neck and it's just, a mess. And he did a lot of his own. I've told you about him before.
Have you? I don't remember it.
Yeah, because I was saying, if you're going to do your own, at least make sure you're a good drawer.
Yeah.
It was just a mess. It was just all over.
What he thought he'd done. He sort of doodled snakes around.
Yeah, and all his kids' names on his arms, and it's like, can't you remember them?
Yeah.
He might have had a lot.
No, he did.
Yeah.
And do you remember even from a young age thinking that looks rubbish?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it'll probably be about 60 now. I'd love to see what he looks like now.
Well,
just look at this. There was a story the other day in one of the magazines that I read about this fella who had a...
well, this would be Bizarre or 14 Times then. Yeah. One of the magazines you read.
Yeah.
So it's going to be...
It's not The Spectator.
No.
But this fella had a big eagle put on his back.
Yeah.
With a snake sort of covering it. And...
such rubbish, isn't it? This kind of symbols of sort of dynamism and life. Yeah, I know, a snake and an eagle.
Yeah, a large-breasted vampire woman riding a dragon.
Yeah.
That's always a good one.
But this fella had that, and he had it in his will that when he dies, he wanted his son to have the skin taken off.
Oh God!
And put in like a little frame.
Oh God!
That's horrific.
What's that? That's my dad's back.
Yeah. Oh, are you sure?
God.
No. Because I read it and kind of started having sort of memories of Auntie Nora again.
Yeah.
Because she used to always like...
now, Auntie Nora is the woman
who farted for 5 minutes.
She had wind for 5 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah.
But she also, she used to say, Karl, rub me back. Right. And with her being quite old, it was all sort of mouldy and warty.
It was mouldy?
No,
mouldy.
Mouldy, right.
And what did you do?
I didn't like it. I hated it, in fact.
It was like reading a Braille book.
Yeah.
It was like putting your hand in a load of Cocoa Pops.
Oh, dear.
All really big brown things. And I just thought framing hers would be sort of 3D-ish.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. What's that, a chunk of the moon? No?
Yeah. Did you Artex that wall?
Yeah. That's Auntie Nora.
That's Auntie Nora's back. Oh, God.
Any piece of your body can't be behind?
That's disgusting. Putting your hand in some... Is she the one with the split tennis ball when she wasn't wearing knickers?
Shut up. What? No, let's not discuss the tennis ball.
Okay.
So she used to get you to sort of knead her dough on her back.
God, this is really bad.
But like, what was she with her dress or whatever? Or
she wore those sort of squid-looking things. Like
sorry, what?
Those squid-looking.
It's Auntie Nora covered in octopuses. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
It's like a nightgown type thing. But
what's squid got to do with it?
Because he sort of looked like a squid around the edge.
Oh, I know, frilly things. Yeah.
And she just said, I'm aching there. Oh. She was never well. She was never. Do you know what I mean? She's always has something wrong with her. I don't ask her how she is. It's just like she's not going to be all right.
Did she have wind when you were sort of neat? It must have been like playing an accordion.
Yeah, get a little tune going.
Wow. Oh, who's your auntie with the tattoos?
That's Hazel.
Oh right, yeah.
Let's leave that.
Why?
Oh, let's
why?
not talk about
Leave it. What have I come across there? What's up with that,
Hazel?
What's up with that Hazel?
There's nothing wrong with her. Well, just a lesbian, which is nothing wrong with that.
Well, no, but you've made it sound like there is now by not wanting to say it. My auntie's a lesbian.
I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're getting at. Just because I call her Uncle Hazel.
Play a record.
He's from Manchester. Please forgive him.
Lizzie, don't believe a word. XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
Email here from Chris. He said he met a girl in Australia whose boyfriend tattooed her arm with the word psycho, except the spelling was wrong, and she ended up scarred for life with the word physco. 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 I mean, a word of warning, if you're going out today to get a tattoo, they're tattooists. Right. English is probably not their speciality. So be careful. Write it down for them first.
You are walking on thin ice. I've seen some of these boys. They're big.
Sure.
They're big. No, and if they're willing to stick lumps of metal through their faces, what are they going to do to you?
Well, yeah, indeed.
So, Steve, sorry to all tattooers.
The piercing, you see, I have a weird problem with the piercing as well. Because, I mean, the earrings, that makes sense.
I had earrings ages ago, but...
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, but you're a man who notoriously hates pain, and he's scared of everything.
It hurt. I was about 18, and I took 2 in 1, and they did it right, and he just went, and I went, all right, I went, yeah. I just went, oh, God.
Did you have them in both earrings?
It's just, it was like a staple gun. It just went, and it didn't really hurt. I thought, well, I'm not doing that again. It hurts too much, and it just throbbed.
Were you still living with your parents at the time?
No.
I mean, what do people, your kind of oiky Reading family, what would they have made of?
Oh, well, they know I had them afterwards, yeah.
But did they take the mick?
Oh, God, of course they did, yeah.
Yeah.
Rick, you ain't going to eat like that. Oh, you'll get followed. Oh, look at you. Look at that. Yeah. That's disgusting. And when I was new romantic, my mum said, bloody hell, I thought I only had one girl.
Which is the earring? Because isn't it like one ear is for gay people and one is for straight people? Is that just a myth? Or
I don't know. It might
be something to do with which ear you had it.
Yeah, there probably was sort of like signs for that. Yeah, it's like when you're growing up, I had loads like a white polo neck, right, and a ring on your little finger. That means you're gay.
Yeah,
like you can see him coming.
He's just consulting your little chart.
Exactly. Hold on,
white polo neck.
Yeah.
Those are the earrings in the left ear.
I don't know where I am.
Wasn't there that thing that the famous cover of Born
Bruce
to Run?
Springsteen?
Yeah,
where you didn't know the handkerchief. Yeah, it was
the handkerchief in the right hand pocket.
Dominant and was. Yeah, I don't know.
But, where is this information? I wouldn't have known that. I might have gone around, with, if it was hot weather, something to mop my brow, I wouldn't have known that. Can't the gay people kind of notify us? Can't we have some kind of website or something we can check out? Do you still
go to that pub with all those sort of like butch blokes?
Lovely guys.
With the moustaches and,
leather caps, great guys.
A lot of them are firemen, a lot of them are like traffic cops.
Great people.
You know what I mean?
Fascinating people.
You're safe in there.
Yeah,
also, there's no women to... No. It's like you're just having a great time with the lads. And there's nothing... It's
just playing pool, stripped to your waist.
I can talk. My back still hurts.
Okay, a little bit of hip-hop. It's nice to have occasional hip-hop tune, just keep it, it's summer, you'll be cruising around in your open-top Chevy.
Now, Steve, I see there, it's a track by Little Kim, but how are you pronouncing it?
I'm pronouncing that correctly, Lil Kim.
Oh, no T's involved.
And it's The Jump Off, featuring Mr. Cheeks. I don't know why I find that funny, but Mr. Cheeks is involved. If you could spot him, good luck. Lil Kim, and I believe that's Mr. Cheeks there, just busted it on the mic, and that's called The Jump Off.
Talking of cheeks, Karl, have we got another instalment of Cheeky Freak of the Week this week?
Yeah.
Have we?
Excellent, look forward to that. Is there some monkey news?
Goes without saying.
Of course.
Does it really? That monkey news is safe, isn't it? It's not like,
You're always going home with monkey news.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's like songs of praise on a Sunday.
When I came back from holiday, I've been on holiday for a week, and, I sort of sat in by the pool and stuff, and I sort of wrote about 40-minute stand-up with my new show, and I was going to Karl and said, it's great, when you get away, it's sort of like, you relax and you just think clearly. He went, Ian, I know. He said, I was away when I came up with Rockbusters.
Yeah, indeed. Absolutely.
I was buzzing about writing 40 minutes of brand new stand-up.
Yeah.
He equated that to coming up with Rockbusters. Should I be insulted, Steve, or is Rockbusters as good as everyone's saying it is? Is it the one good idea? Is it like E equals MC squared was to Einstein is to, Rockbusters is to Karl?
What if I do this, Rick? What if I played you some adverts right now?
Yeah,
and then we came
talk
back
about
with some Rockbusters.
Yeah.
You could make the jump for yourself.
Maybe I'll do Rockbusters and show people how easy it is to do it wrong.
Adverts, then Rockbusters.
And a cup of lovely coffee. Cup of coffee in the cup.
Yeah,
I want a cup of coffee. Placebo, this picture, XFM. What's Karl doing? What's he rooting around
I don't know,
at?
but listen, while he's doing that, can I just say happy birthday from all of us to Shan. Her friend Terry said play some Placebo for Shan, so happy birthday to her.
That's done. That's done.
Cross that off the list.
Yeah, that's another thing we've got through
Ding,
today.
Rockbusters, please.
Do you want to look at the prizes?
I'll have a look at the prizes, see what people can win. It's an email-only competition, please remember that. All right, we've got the Later with Jules Holland Louder DVD. There's stuff on there from the Cardigans, Rollins is on there, Mercury Rev, Sonic Youth, the Datsuns, Queens of the Stone Age.
No, wait a minute. They're all great bands, but I think they need a boogie-woogie piano over the top of everything they do.
Well, hopefully Jules Holland would have
Okay,
helped.
good, because that was something missing there on most of those tunes.
Yeah, current album from Goldfrapp, that's there as well. What have we got this on DVD? The Life of Mammals, the complete series of that. A couple of we've got the Inspiral Carpets, again a 3 CD set of the best of the Inspiral Carpets. I don't know how they strung it over 3 CDs. And the best one-hit wonders in the world ever. And let me see.
Oh dear, a 3 CD set.
A 3 CD
the
set.
best of Inspiral. I'm struggling.
I'm assuming CD3 is just the Corals album. Anyway, there's some good treats there. You've sourced some good stuff this week.
All right. Well.
All right. Yeah.
Here's your clues.
Here's your Rockbusters. Yeah. Right.
Cryptic clue, a couple of initials, and you sort that out. Right. First
What
one.
was Dr. Fox on about that we don't sound like proper presenters? It's mad. Go on, Karl.
Right. The first one. A customer wanted some paint to darken up a room. Shop assistant knew what to do. Right. Customer wanted some paint to darken up a room. The shop assistant knew what to do. The initials there, CB. Right? CB for the first one there. Right? Second one, it'd be alright if their heads weren't that big. Right?
And again?
It would be alright if their heads weren't that big. And that's SF. Right?
SF?
Yeah. And the last one...
I know that one. Yeah, go on.
And the last one, Chanel have got another perfume out. N-O. Right? Chanel have got another perfume out. N-O. You email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. That's that done.
And those prizes can be yours.
Yeah.
More music, please.
Bit of Bob Marley.
Any of these going to annoy me? Oh, I've got to stir it up.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Are any of these clues going to annoy me this week?
Oh, they're all good.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Right.
Alright.
Yeah, we'll be the judge of that.
Alright.
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Brilliant.
Stir it up. Bob Marley on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington.
Wait, did you get up today and just see the great weather and think, do you know what, I'd love to hear some Stir It Up from Bob Marley?
Yeah, I did actually. Well, I was going to play it the week before last before I went away, and we didn't have time. So,
Well, we were crammed full of features like this one.
have we got a cheeky freak of the week?
Do you want one?
Yeah. I think we should have a jingle for this.
Okay, I've got a jingle. It's very similar to Chimpanzee.
Chimpanzee there.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it.
Okay. Oh, cheeky freak of the week.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, I think that's excellent. So, cheeky freak of the week. You've spotted a freak.
This is where somewhat, I think, offensively, you pick on someone who's not like other people and say it's your favourite freak of that week.
Yeah,
I remember we had the woman whose legs look like the hind legs of a dog. We've had the little fella with the aging disease with the little head playing the piano. That was your favourite. I think that's your probably freak of the year, isn't it?
It's a pretty good one.
So what's this? Is it a man with a horrendous injury, or is it a congenital birth defect, or what?
Yeah, but you put it like that, and now it sounds like I'm being tight. It sounds like I'm being out of order. But I'm just giving him a mention.
Just giving him a big shout out.
Right. There's quite a lot going on in the freak world.
There always is.
You've been visiting hospitals the last week, have you, when we were away?
No, there was a thing on a website. This isn't even the one that I've picked, so...
So this is just a bonus?
This is a bonus freak.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on then.
This is a free freak, right? It's a fella called the Lobster Man.
The Lobster Man, of course.
Again, good name, you know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
What are you going to get? Some succulent meat.
I like the idea that the vicar on the christening suggested that. I don't want to call him Mark. Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Look at his hands.
What's his name? Mark Michael Webster. Right. Right.
Have you thought about a nickname?
Not really, no. Have you looked
at his hands?
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that because
do you know they look a little bit like lobsters?
Well, yeah, but it's quite deformed. It's like, you know, we
Can I suggest Lobster Man?
That's terrible, Vicar. That is terrible, Vicar.
Pidgey.
Go on then. We're gonna see. This is what the sort of feature you come up with, Karl.
So Lobster Man.
There's probably people listening now with, you know, lobster feet.
Right.
Lobster hands.
So
Squid Boy.
So Lobster Man, what does Lobster Man do? Does he fight crime?
Not that much.
Okay.
Apparently he got into a bit of trouble. He was in a restaurant, and this was years ago, by the way.
And someone picked him to eat him.
No, so apparently the waiter said, "Oh, you shouldn't be sat here. You should be in my pan," or something.
Oh dear.
And they had a fight, got out of hand.
Yeah.
Got out of claw.
And yeah. So that was.
What do you mean they had a fight? What did he do? A waiter took the mickey out of someone with.
No.
No, can I just make clear? I'm assuming his hands look a bit like those of a lobster.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's fused, so it's just like two big fingers. They're fused, I assume, probably in the womb, and they're just like, instead of like having five digits, they're fused in it. But he can pick stuff up, can't he?
Yeah.
What does he pick up? He mainly eats crabs and jellyfish, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. So he was having a fight with the waiter. He snipped off his nose.
Right, so anyway,
he just held on to the waiter's bib.
Yeah,
and the waiter was screaming, "Go and get him off me."
Yeah.
So anyway,
does he eat other lobsters? Does he think he would eat lobster, or is it kind of? Would he feel bad about eating lobster?
Right.
The little cheek of the freak that we've gone for anyway.
The what?
The little freak of the week, cheeky freak of the week. We've gone for this Siamese lad.
Okay.
Right. Happened back in.
You can't have a Siamese lad, can you?
All right. Yeah. This Siamese twins happened back in 1693.
Oh, he's got a date. Blimey, that's the first time ever.
Yeah. And all it was, he was doing all right for himself. He used to go on those circus things he used to do.
They're two people you're talking about, Karl. So we're going to him.
All right then. All right.
They
did this circus show, right?
Yeah.
And everything's going well. They're selling out the tents and stuff, people coming to see them.
Yeah.
He was doing all right for himself.
Yeah.
Right?
Sorry, before I said that, did you think a Siamese twin was a man with two heads?
Well, it can be, can't it? It depends.
There's two people, they're conjoined.
No, but it depends, doesn't it? The one that I shown you in that book that time was a fellow with two heads.
No, it wasn't. That was a stupid picture in one of your stupid books that he had a growth that looked a little bit like it had a face on it. It wasn't a man with two heads. You're the same sort of people who send potato chips to restaurants and say, "Doesn't it look like Norman Cook?"
Yeah.
It's not two heads.
We'll bin this feature.
No, they're two people. They're two people. Conjoined twins. Yeah. Right, so these...
They just happen to have a similar taste in clothes. Okay.
Anyway, so they were doing all right, and it all went wrong when he crossed the road, got run over. The lad with two heads got run over. That's it.
What? How is that cheeky freak of the week?
Just because he got my interest, and I kind of thought, why didn't he just look both ways?
I'm intrigued to know
Why wasn't he looking both ways?
I'm intrigued to know how you get run over. What was it, 1629?
Yeah. Well, it's horses and that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, why wasn't he looking both ways? Karl Pilkington, you are a genius. Play a record, you fool.
Well done, Karl. More cheeky freak of the week next week.
See what's going on.
In the freak world.
Universally speaking, Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9. So, Got a lot of Rockbusters coming in.
Yeah, all right, actually. People obviously seem at long last to have tuned into your wavelength, Carl. Which is, of course, 104.9.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Should we give the clues again, briefly?
We just had an email,
actually, to be honest with you, let's not, because we've already had a load of answers.
I know,
so,
yeah.
If you didn't get it first time round, you don't deserve to win.
We had an email saying, because I've got a bad back, am I squeezing Carl's head? Well, I've already had a little squeeze, didn't I, about half hour ago, didn't I?
Yeah.
You just got to be careful, because I don't want any strain, so I'd say keep still, whatever happens, and you're right, yeah.
Could I have a squeeze, just while you're not really kind of capable?
He's allowed to squeeze it, isn't he?
Because I've never squeezed it once.
Remember, sideways, temples, go quite hard, but not too hard.
Yeah.
Front to back, go as hard as you like, because that's
all right, well, I'll just have a try now.
No, you've got a bucket. He's sorted it out. He says every Saturday between...
Yeah, but I'm taking over from him because...
Yeah, no, let him have one squeeze. Let him
have a go then.
So, the front and the back...
Get round, so you got... That's it, right, now, use the thing like that.
Not too hard at the front?
No, really hard at the front and back.
There you go, yeah. You got the hang of it.
Oh,
right.
God, it's good fun. I see
know.
why you like it. No, I'm just going to do a side. It's great fun.
Yeah.
It's great, there's a little bit of, grip there with the short hair, but obviously not too much, there's not much up there up top.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be doing that again next week.
Do you know, I got a form, right? Do you know I'm staff here, right? I'm like on the staff, I'm one of the staff. Got some internal mail the other day that you have to fill out about if you die at work, who gets your money. It said, do you put yourself at any danger?
What did you say?
Well, I asked Suzanne, I said, does that,
Head squeezing,
is that in
but my leg lock round your ribs that time, and I had to, it was like a little alligator, like a python and an alligator, didn't I? You get quite some... you get a little bit of leverage, you can crush a man's ribs with with mighty legs.
Oh, something I want to ask you, Carl. There's that programme on now, I forget what it's called. Is it something like Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Does that...
I did the non-broadcast pilot for that, because my mate was the the Phil Balker was producing it, and I did it,
And the premise of it is that it's one of those things about, a conversation piece, the ultimate dinner party. I think you can have invite
people,
6 guests.
Dead, alive, or fictional.
Or fictional, yeah.
You choose where you want it, and yeah.
And anyway, I was just intrigued to know what Carl's ultimate dinner party, who would pop round? Any of your cheeky freaks?
So what's this? I'm putting on a...
You're putting on an imaginary dinner party.
Anne Robinson's there. She's got to be there. I said I didn't invite you. She said, well, I'm there anyway. Yeah. So it was actually me, Anne Robinson, and 6 people. Yeah. And I chose people like heroes like Muhammad Ali, Homer Simpson, or stuff like that. James Randi. Yeah. So you could choose anyone.
Living or dead, fictional or otherwise.
Right.
Would it look like a circus from the 18th century?
I'll have like a few freaks in there.
Like what? Who would you have?
Well, the first person I'd have is probably have Elvis.
I had Elvis. I chose Elvis.
Why would you have Elvis?
He's just good, wasn't he? He was good at what he did.
Right. But once you'd said that to him, what would the rest of the conversation?
I'd say sing us a song.
Right, so you make him sing a song?
Yeah, he'd be like the entertainment for the night. When he's not on the stage performing, I'd probably have the Elephant Man there.
Right. So John Merrick, yeah?
Yeah, John Merrick.
Okay, I've got Elvis, John... Merrick. If anyone's out there and, you haven't got anything to do, can you write down everything Karl says from now to a year and send it to me and Steve, because we might want to put it in a book?
Yes.
Would that be good? Just maybe someone keep a journal of everything Karl does and says. I'm going to try and keep a scrapbook of pictures.
Tell you who I would have.
Who?
Peter Kay.
Right.
He'd be good, he'd be brilliant. I'd want to be sat next to him, because he's...
Well, you're friends with Ricky Gervais, why would you want to...
No, but... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Peter Kay.
All right,
Peter Kay. Yeah. Which one would you do him as himself or one of his characters he does?
Just as he is.
Yeah.
He's funny. He's a funny man.
Yeah.
Love him. What else? Probably that fella who lost his arm when he was climbing that mountain. Remember?
He had to cut off his
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right, why would you have him?
I'd just like to have a chat with him and say, what happened there then?
Yeah.
Well, we know what happened there. He cut his arm off. What would you say? Did it hurt? Yes, it hurt.
But I don't think it would hurt. That's one of the questions.
What are you talking about?
I reckon the shock cancelled any pain out. If you're stuck there with a boulder on your arm, you've probably got bad pins and needles, right?
Yeah.
With a big rock on your arm.
Yeah.
And you'd say, right, so how long were you sat there before you said, well, I've got to cut this off? Did you read about it? It was amazing.
What do you think the other people would be doing when you were talking about this bloke about cutting his own arm? John Merrick wouldn't mind. Elvis would probably be off his head on something.
Elephant Man will be having a couple of bums.
I hope Peter Kay didn't make a funny comment. I hope he doesn't make a funny comment.
Yeah.
Right?
Can I just a quick warning?
I'll just put bloke with one arm, bloke with...
Be careful, Karl, what you serve for dinner.
Yeah.
Because he's only got the one arm.
Yeah.
So, you know, certain things. I mean, maybe suggest something you can eat with chopsticks.
Or a hamburger.
A hamburger. But don't go with something like lobster. Tricky, you need both hands for that. Unless him and John Merrick teamed up. I think they've got one good arm each.
Yeah.
Soup, maybe.
What would you give John Merrick? Buns?
Couple of buns.
Mm-hmm.
Have that woman in the boat who went round the world.
Why?
So see, you know, how she managed
Pretty
that.
boring guests, really.
Hey?
Boring?
What do you mean, boring?
What was she going to say? What she said? She was going, well, I didn't see a lot. I was in a cabin. Really? There's a lot of water. I was a bit scared.
The main thing I'd want to ask her, right, because I remember when she did it, and there was an interview with her, and her parents were there or something, and her mum was saying how she's dead proud because she decided to, you know, go around the world in a boat as a kid, instead of just hanging around on street corners and stuff. She said she didn't want her daughter to, like, be messing about on the streets at night on her own and stuff. She was a responsible mother. Yeah. And she sent her off on a boat.
Sure. In the middle of the Atlantic.
On her own.
Yeah.
So I'd like to ask her about that.
I think even Manchester's safer than that, isn't it?
Yeah. And I'd have probably another woman, so to chat to her, probably go for Kim Marsh.
Kim Marsh?
Sorry. You'd have the woman who sailed around the world, right? But you'd have to have another woman for her to have someone to talk to. Well, why invite either of them then? If you don't want to talk to either of them yourself.
What? Sorry.
I love this. Round World Yachtswoman, and Kim Marsh.
But why, of all the women you could invite, Kim
love
Marsh
that.
is at the top of the
that's the best list I've ever heard. Elvis, John Merrick, Peter Kay, a bloke with one arm, the Round the World Yachtswoman chatting to Kim Marsh. That is genius. Why haven't they invited you on this show? I'm going to call Anne Robinson. Right, okay, if anyone's listening to that, have Karl Pilkington. I know no one knows who he is yet, but what a great bit of conversation. Play a record, Karl, you're an idiot.
Some Smith?
Oh, always a treat. Yeah, we played something from Morris's selection. Something that would be on my ultimate compilation is something from the Smiths. and it'll probably be this one. I started something I couldn't finish. I think that's one of their underrated albums, Rick. Strange Ways Here We Come.
It might be my favourite.
It's my favourite, certainly. Yeah. And that's from that album.
Queen is Dead is a lot of people's favourite, but I don't like the wacky ones.
It's the novelty ones. It's
got some great ones. I think he's got some of his best tunes on there, but I don't know frankly, Mr. Shankly.
Yeah, he's always got this tendency to sort of write music hall style songs.
But that's a great one, that. So there you go. Elvis, John Merrick, Peter Kay, bloke with one arm, woman who sailed around the world, Kim Marsh.
What I like about those two, numbers 4 and 5, he doesn't even know their names.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he'll just write on the invitation, dear bloke with one arm. Having a dinner party.
Yeah. It's better than most, but I imagine most people when they do this, if they go, Nelson Mandela.
I know, of course, yeah. I think I read an interview with Mick Hucknall where it was something like, who do you admire? Nelson Mandela.
Brilliant. I don't read papers when I'm in this country. When I was on holiday, I read one, and there was an article in there about Beckham meeting him, and the article was about how many people have met him, and I was thinking, we are the only 3 people that haven't met him.
Nelson Mandela, yeah.
It's just like, does he rent himself out? Do you know what I mean? It's like the back of in the back of the stage when you can get a Caprice lookalike to wander around. They go, is that a lookalike? No, that's really him. It's 40 quid, he'll come to your party.
I think what it is that he was locked up for so long. Yeah, he's now just
he's never home.
He's just so shocked.
It's like Salman Rushdie, he's running around. I've seen him twice.
Yeah.
His house must be a tip. He's never in. God.
Well, I think it is if you stay indoors for a long time.
Yeah.
You've got to get out there. You've got to get out there.
You get a bit stir crazy, I suppose.
But he's met some of the great names in world events. He's met the Spice Girls, Alan Titchmarsh.
He's met him. Yeah, they did his garden, didn't they?
Yeah, David Beckham.
Yeah. Oh, that must have been great. But I mean, maybe we could hold out and never meet him.
Yeah, this is like
even if we get invited to one of them, that's where I go, no.
Yeah.
Not really.
We're the only 3 people who've never met Nelson Mandela.
I'm not meeting him till I make sure he's definitely going straight. Exactly. You know what I mean? I don't really. Careful, I don't like to hang out with people who don't.
No, I wouldn't invite him to my ultimate dinner party in case, the silverware went missing.
Oh!
Well, you don't know, he was inside for a long time. They pick up things in these places. You can pick stuff up.
It's usually Karl that comes out with those sort of things. Karl, what do you think of that?
What, Nelson not having him around because he's nicking?
Well, Well, let's back out now. Let's back out now while we're ahead.
Be good in Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah.
Being used to being locked up and that.
we couldn't, yeah.
I started something.
I couldn't finish.
Yeah. Should we play another record, or should we talk about some, on a lighter note, Muffy the hamster had a narrow escape with a,
Play a song, let's have the Rossbusters answer.
Oh, God. Martina Topley Bird, Need One. Alright, XFM 104.9. Well, it's that time. It's getting exciting. We've got Rockbusters results, but before that, a little bit of monkey news with, chimpanzee that monkey news. Karl Pilkington.
Brilliant. Let's do it. I haven't read that for a couple of weeks.
Go on then.
Alright, so this little monkey.
Oh, yeah.
He lives in Morocco.
Right, I'll just warn you now, you're on thin ice from last time, okay? So, make sure, is this real?
It's been
Don't say anything you would think about it. As you're saying it, think to yourself, is that true? Do monkeys do that? Do they think like that? So, go on then.
So anyway, yeah, so there's this magician in Morocco, right? He's got a little monkey working with him, right? The way it used to work, magician used to do his thing on stage, do a little bit of magic, people loved it. Then the monkey came out, had a little cap, walked around the crowd and stuff, got the money, had a good little team thing going on, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, the monkey's name was 86.
Right.
Because back then there was so many monkeys, it was like, what names, do you know what I mean? What names do you use? What do you do? So they just named them, right? So this little monkey...
he had 86 other monkeys?
No. It's just that because a lot of monkeys were sort of working back then, helping magicians out, doing bits and pieces, busking, what have you.
Well, Rick, you know how there's so many...
why would there be a confusion with that? If he only had one monkey, where's the confusion? People would go, I'm not going to go and see that, I want to see 86, he's the better monkey. Do you know what I mean? What does it matter?
I don't know what you mean.
Well, why do they need... Where was the confusion? With people going to the circus and going, what monkey are you going to see tonight? I don't know. It wasn't a billing, was it, with a monkey?
But Rick, it's just the same with humans. There's so many humans now that we can't give them names anymore.
Yeah,
they all have to have numbers.
Exactly, yeah. There's so many humans, with 5 billion people. We can't give them names. It's impossible. But, with a few monkeys
anyway, number
working...
22, go on.
So, anyway, there he is.
86.
86.
With his hat.
With his hat, walking around, getting the money.
Yeah.
Anyway, the magician sort of, thinking about moving on. Because in Morocco, he'd sort of done all the tourist traps.
Sure.
So he had a word with the monkey, said, how about we...
See?
No, let him continue.
Think.
Let him continue.
He didn't have a word with the monkey.
Let him continue.
So what do you think about going over to Spain?
Yes. Sure. So, the monkey was in agreement?
So he said, go on then. Right, so they get in the car, and, the magician knew he'd have a bit of a problem on his hands because you're not meant to take monkeys out of the country.
Yeah.
Right? So he thought, right, what I'll do, I'll get a car, right?
Right.
Stick the monkey in a boot, right? Get on the boat and hopefully sort of, stick it in some luggage and what have you.
Yeah.
We'll be over there, we'll be earning big money, everything's going to be great. So the monkey was like, brilliant. So they get in the car, they're on the way to the boat, and pull over at a petrol station. And just before filling it up, he opens up the boot and he goes, you all right in there? And it's like, yeah, sound. So he leaves the boot open so it can breathe and get a bit of fresh air whilst it's filling up. Goes in to pay the money.
Yep.
Pays the money, goes, I'm just paying for the...
Right, this monkey is not going to drive away in that car, or we're never doing this feature again.
Karl, what happens? What's number 86 up to?
So... 86. So,
That's the ending, isn't it? That's the story.
Come on, let Karl finish the story.
It better not be.
Brilliant. You're going to love it. Right, so he's in the petrol station, and he's going, right, I'll pay for pump 4. And the fella says, what are you talking about?
Pump 4, isn't that a monkey? No. Sometimes I use numbers for monkeys, sometimes I use... No, I mean pump 4.
Sure.
So he says, what are you talking about? There's no car at pump 4.
Right.
Keep going.
Sticks his head out of the door.
Yeah.
The monkey's giving it some. Went over to Spain on its own.
I don't know what to do.
Hang on, let's just get a couple of the facts right here.
What do you mean, couple of the facts, right? There are no facts.
So, number 86 he drove to Spain.
You are, honestly, Karl, you must know.
It was an automatic.
Right. Karl, you must know that is shit. There is no way a monkey...
That's the thing with this
He gets
feature,
stopped at customs.
It's mental.
How did he get through customs, Carl? Has he got a passport?
No, he was sneaking about because he didn't have a passport.
So he parked and then snuck through.
Do you want the facts?
Let me see it. Right, I'll examine this, Rick, and we'll play a record.
Play a record, because I can't. That's nearly as bad as the armed robbery. Right, go on.
Yeah.
Play a record.
Better Suede.
Yeah, Stay Together. My favourite.
One of 86's favourites.
Yeah, brilliant. My favourite Suede track. Stay Together. XFM. Well, nearly time to go. But before we do, a little bit of Rockbuster results.
Just checking some of the answers, Rick, and it seems that an awful lot of people have got it right.
Go on then. Tell us them again then. Remind us of them before you give us the answers.
Alright, Rockbusters number 1 was like this. It was a customer...
We're stopping monkey news, by the way, until you start getting some credible ones. Because that's it's ridiculous. It's not true.
No, it seems mad.
But no, but it's from the internet again. So anyone can go online, download that story. It's insubstantial. It's get ones from journals or where the source is quoted. Okay, or we're not interested. Or we're not. Well, you don't. Okay. So same with on thin ice. We've pulled this once. We've pulled Rockbuster. We suspended it once, and you came back again. So it's. Do you know what I mean? So go on then.
Right, so Rockbusters number 1 was about a customer who wanted some paint, wanted to darken up a room. The shop assistant knew what to do. What did she do? The initials were CB, Cellar Black, right? Cellar Black. Sell her some
You
black
see, I
paint.
thought Cellar Black, because it's CB, and I thought, well, it can't be, because it's not Cellar. It's not Sell Her Black.
Cryptic,
It's
cryptic though, isn't it?
No, cryptic doesn't mean it's wrong.
Right. They all got it. They all got it anyway, so... It's a bit weird, isn't it? Second one, it would be alright if the Reds weren't that big, right?
Right.
The initials are SF.
Well, one of my favourite bands, yeah. The Smaller Faces, isn't it?
Small Faces.
Well, no, that doesn't make sense. Okay, go on then.
And the final one, Chanel have got another perfume out. Right.
I'll just say we've had an email from one of our listeners who said if this turns out to be New Order, he's never listening to XFM again.
What's the clue again?
Chanel have got another perfume out. New odour.
Right, well that's another listener gone.
What do you mean? There's not a group called New Odour.
No, it's cryptic.
It's not. That doesn't mean cryptic. Wrong doesn't mean cryptic. It's like saying what animal I'm thinking of. Frog. That doesn't mean cryptic. Sell Her Black. What artist is that? Small Faces works. Just about.
If I say what animal I'm thinking of, what am I
Monkey.
thinking? Well, there you go then. So it does work.
Play a record.
Right?
Play a record.
So who's a winner?
Ah, yes. Now I'm going to give it to someone who emailed in with the correct answer, and his name is Steve Martin.
Really?
And I'm giving it to, I don't know if you've noticed over the last few weeks, I've been giving the prize to people with just a kooky element to them, you know, if they've got
people to start sending their name in, like Barry Bumpfreud.
Well, don't worry, because I can spot if it's a fake comedy name. Or
what was that last one we laughed at?
I can't remember what it was. I think it was Gerald something.
Yeah, it was just like Gerald Smethurst or something.
What's it? Preston?
Gerald Preston. Why is that a funny name?
Jerry Preston, a great guy, but for some
Gerald
reason
Preston, we laughed at that.
he caught my attention. So this week Steve Martin's caught my attention.
Right. Yeah. When was the last time Steve Martin made you laugh?
This Steve Martin?
Dickers hasn't been...
Yeah, we've had no correspondence from Dickie Anderson for some time, which saddens me.
Little Dickmeister General, what is he doing out there? Has he got... What, he's got something better to do? Ridiculous.
Pathetic,
right,
well, that's the end, We've got the last song, so is there anything
it's the end of Rockbusters, and it's the end of Monkey News. Monkey News will give you one more go for it, and it's got to be credible, it's got to be real, it's got to be true.
We need to see your sources, it needs to be corroborated.
Okay. Rockbusters, they've got to be real band names. New Odour. New Odour. New Odour. Just anything. Just brilliant.
Well done to Steve, he got them all. So is that it then?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well,
cheers.
I've enjoyed that. I hope your back's better, Rick.
Yeah.
And, Karl, I hope you buck up your ideas.
Your brain's better.
Yeah.
Got something interesting about a brain, we'll talk about it next week.
No, tell it now.
No, I'll
Quickly, what is it?
No, I'll leave it.
Oh, like that's a hook. Like people will be going for a week. Oh, I wonder what things are a Karl's brain. Was it a brain that drove a motorbike across to Switzerland?
I've heard it.
Just because. Jane's Addiction are back then.
Yeah, excellent.
And so are we.
Indeed.
All right, I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington pressing the buttons on XFM 104.9. Well, I'm looking forward to today because not only have I got, you know, a bit of Bowie, a bit of Springsteen, Mock the Hoople, Pretenders, R.E.M., an Elton John classic, don't laugh, right? But we've taken Dr. Fox's advice and prepared the show, and I've got a big list here of amusing observations. Coming up after the next record, a funny observation about describing your looks.
Brilliant.
All right?
Oh, before, just to say, Rick, I just had an email. Beach Buggy, your last chance to see them on Thursday, 5th of June, alright? So, don't miss out. The Garage, 9:45. It's your last chance. Beach Buggy.
Well, I know that must be some people's favourite record, Steve.
Well, it's certainly one of mine.
Thunder Road, Bruce Springsteen.
I won't hear a bad word said against the boss. A lot of people dismiss him, as we said in the past, as being some kind of stadium rocker, but you can't listen to a song like that and not be moved. Surely, Karl.
It's alright, yeah.
Brilliant. A passionate man.
Yeah.
What?
So, Karl.
No, it's right.
So,
There's certain songs like that was alright. It didn't sound anything... If it wasn't Bruce Springsteen, if someone new came out, saying like that, I'd go, yeah, it's alright.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
you're a regular Simon Cowell, aren't you?
I don't know if I like music as much as I used to now. That's what happens when you work in it, isn't it? Because Danny Minogue was on the telly in the week.
Is it like when you work in a sweet factory and you don't nick the Mars bars after a couple of months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Danny Minogue was on the telly in the week, right?
Yeah.
And she was doing a medley.
Yeah.
Why do people do them?
Well, to try and get all the hits. I know what you mean, yeah.
Well, who's that busy that they haven't got time to listen to a full album or...
But it was
it's like a meal in pill form.
Yeah.
Well, I like most of Danny Minogue's hits, but I don't like the whole song.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to just like pop the best bits down, 30 seconds, put them all together, yeah.
Well, I've got a Stars on 45 record from the 70s. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Stars on 45. But it's that, like you say, this one had it would be a snatch of Stevie Wonder, followed by the MASH theme, followed by Layla, just the intro. It was sort of, it's not music. It's just...
Well, we do a bit of that, don't we? That's what DJing is, isn't it? It's a bit of everything. But we play the whole song, don't we, often? Mm. Yeah, we're better, aren't we, Karl?
Oh.
So what do you want to talk about today?
Do you want to look at the list?
Yeah, well, it's got describe looks. That's our list we've put. So this is a very amusing sort of link about describing your looks.
I don't know. What's this? I don't remember this.
No, I just was thinking like, everyone's got an idea in their head, right? Of what they look.
Careful, Karl. Don't open yourself up to criticism. Go on, yeah. Everyone's got
Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got an idea of what they look like and stuff. If someone wanted to know what I look like, or what Ricky looked like, or what you look like, Steve, if that...
Yeah.
What would you use to describe yourself? Do you know what I mean?
Words.
Not really. I don't understand. What do you mean?
Well, like...
someone who doesn't know us, we've got to describe, and what's the game to hopefully get some sort of interpersonal language going, so you know they've got the same image as you, to a certain extent.
I'm just thinking, if I was to meet Steve in a restaurant,
right,
I'd
nothing untoward going on. We're just hanging out.
no, just having a chat, just having a normal night out.
Yeah. Who's paying? Because I mean, is it expensive?
Go Dutch. I mean,
right. So, I say to you, I'll see you at 8, right, in this restaurant. I turn up at the door. It's a bit of a posh place, right? So he's Steve Merchant in, and the waiter sort of goes, I don't know. What does he look like, right? And
where's he from?
Just a little French fella.
Oh yeah.
And what does he look like? So the thing I'd pick up on first, tall lad.
Tall, yeah. And
then he goes, we got lots of tall people in, right? And I go, big eyes.
Big eyes.
Yeah. And then he'd go, yeah, he's over there.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, you can have dinner and you can buy me dinner. I'm not sure you're going to get anywhere with me. If you're slagging me off.
No, I'm not slagging you off, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm just using what comes to mind when
can I just...
Tall and big eyes.
Can I assume that they know, like... Could I say, like, easiest for me, I'd say, looks like Reg Varney from On the Buses. Would they understand that? Can I use sort of like kick references.
He's 30 odd, this waiter, so he'll... Yeah,
so I go, oh yes, it's Reg Varney sitting over there. Yeah. So he went German towards the end.
See, I describe you more, Rick, I think, as... I would imagine, I'd say, have you ever seen that Johnny Vegas on the telly?
Yeah.
Imagine he was inflatable and he just let out a little bit of air.
All right, well, at least that's nice.
What Ricky would look like.
As opposed to, like, you know, pumping harder.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, describe... Karl I'd describe as... You know those little red monkeys that you see on wildlife programs? They're in the trees and they scream when they see a leopard or something.
I think so.
Shave that. Just shave one of those little red monkeys and put some sort of, you know... old sort of Manchester gear on it, maybe. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
An anorak and some baggy jeans.
I'd like to see how the waiter would react to that. He's got a picture of a monkey, then he's got a picture he's shaved. So he's got no hair, then dressed like some kind of Manx scally.
There go, he's over there. Yeah, he's over there, Karl's over there. That's what I do.
Brilliant.
So, now coming up the Verve, after that, an amusing link about gay handkerchiefs.
Oh, really? Looking forward to this.
Lucky Man by The Verve on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Karl, what's the problem with gay hankies?
You played Bruce Springsteen last week.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you said he had got a load of trouble on his hands when he had a hanky in his back pocket.
Did I say that on air or...?
Well, we were just saying that famously on the cover of the Born to Run, Born in the USA album, it's just him, isn't it, with just his backside, basically, with a red handkerchief.
I wasn't looking.
Well,
I just...
I did it for research purposes, for this amazing link. Yeah, he had a red handkerchief, I think, in his right-hand pocket, and apparently that signifies homosexuality, apparently. I don't know.
Oh, I thought it was which way you take... I don't know. These are those myths, aren't they?
Right, yeah, well, exactly. I don't even know if this is...
No, well, I read up about it.
Okay.
Right.
Just research.
And, it's all sort of, you know, they've got all different coloured hankies.
Are they?
Right? Yeah. Right. And, it depends what pocket you put it in as well. So you've got, like, the different colours, different pockets.
Yeah.
And,
sorry, how many variations are there? Different pockets is what?
Well, you've got, like, your back pocket, your right back pocket.
But what do they mean?
What do you mean?
Well, what do they signify? You can't just tell us they signify so much. What do they signify?
Well, some stuff that we don't really want to talk about, to be honest.
What?
Sort of, stuff that gays are into.
Wait. What do you mean?
Barbara Streisand records?
Yeah, Eurovision.
No, like, a couple of the things that were there that I know we can mention. He said something about...
I love what he thinks he can't mention. I love it. Decency. What is this? 1956?
No, but I mean, it isn't just, you know, having it away.
Having it away? I love him! Having it away!
You get up to some weird stuff.
I love the fact he didn't want to offend, but he's offended a lot more people by saying they get up to some weird stuff. Right.
In your opinion?
Yeah. What do you mean? No, but don't if there is something that I don't know about that it's like you can't say on the radio.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
But what do you mean weird stuff?
Well, one of them, right? If you've got a red hanky, right?
Yeah.
In your right pocket.
Like Bruce?
Yeah.
That's exactly what Bruce had, yeah.
Right, well apparently then, Bruce is an armpit freak.
An armpit freak?
Yeah.
No.
Really?
No.
But that's very specific.
Karl.
Seriously.
Well, what? Right, okay. What else is there then?
Sorry, is there some kind of homosexual body that sat down and came up with this at some point? Well, you said this is getting crazy. You've got, like, a blue handkerchief in your top breast pocket. I don't know what that means. You need to sit down. There's some kind of summit. Figure out what it means.
Yeah.
It's just that you're not free from it either. So if you were to go in like a gay bar, which, you know, you might do if you're straight anyway, because they're, you know, good places, I think. Mm-hmm. Right? You can't actually go in there if you've got a cold, because every coloured hanky represents something.
Right.
So if I was to go in, had a bit of a sniffle, I could get into all sorts of trouble.
Right. What, pull out a Marks and Spencer's white linen hanky, that means you like to be tied up and whipped.
Yeah. There was another one, armpit freak we've covered.
Armpit freak is done.
We've covered.
An armpit freak? I don't really know what that means.
Right, okay, yeah.
But there was just one other thing, like a blue and white one, is if you're into sailors.
To sailors?
Yeah, if you have a little blue and white hanky, that's in your left pocket.
Yeah.
Right.
Blue and white equals sailor.
So I wanted to ask you something. You know, but again, we've got to be careful here. You know when you wouldn't leave the building that was on fire because you were standing proud.
Hang on, we need this. Some people now don't know what you're talking about. Karl, you were on holiday.
Yeah.
On holiday in Tenerife, right?
Yeah.
You'd had a moment of intimacy with your girlfriend.
Yeah. A knock on the door. You had to stop and get up. And you peeked around the door. It was a fireman saying, "Get out." But you didn't want to leave because you had a... Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a little... Yeah. But what I don't understand is you maintained that while looking at a Spanish man dressed as a fireman.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that the fact? You maintained... I'm sorry to say, you maintained arousal whilst looking at a gentleman dressed as a fireman. No, is that, these are the facts, and they are undisputed, right? Did you maintain...
I'm not a machine, though. Do you know what I mean? I can't turn it on, turn it off. Right?
But you were talking, I just thought, talking to a fireman, you'd have probably lost it. I don't know, but you didn't.
No, but the other thing was, I mean, I was talking to Suzanne about it again, right?
Yeah.
She said, "What are you talking about that for?" Right? I said, "Oh, it just cropped up," right?
Yeah.
And the dilemma was, you see, I wanted to try and make sure that it was a proper fire because that was the last condom we had, right? So it would have ruined the night. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to it was like, well, what's going on? Is it, do we need to get out?
Yeah.
Is it a proper fire?
Yeah. And you, and talking to this man in uniform, what did he look like? Was he good looking?
Did he look like Ricky Martin, say?
Was he good looking? Was he good looking in his uniform?
I can't remember. Can't remember.
Did he have a moustache?
Better play a record, didn't we? Is this bringing it back?
What?
You look uncomfortable. What?
Did you just switch this on with your hand? The Flaming Lips, and that's Fight Test.
Lips and test.
Lips Test.
On M.
We were talking there about homosexual people, and I'm sure we'll move on to other topics. But I just mentioned, I was talking to a friend of mine in the week, Rufus, and he overheard, he pieced together sometimes if you overhear a conversation, you can piece together what's going on.
Yeah.
And, it sort of transpired from what you could make out that one gay guy had just realised or just found out that his gay boyfriend had, maybe been having an affair and was on the phone, and had called this person, the third party.
So the other one was crying, wasn't it?
The other one was crying in tears. Obviously, they just had a big argument about it. And all he heard on the phone was the guy saying, in very kind of earnest tones, "I'm going to do everything in my power to destroy you." Well, I just like to think what that was. What was he,
No more guest list to GAY.
GAY. I am going to, slash your diesel jeans with a pair of scissors.
What if they're listening now?
I know, I mean, it's probably an emotional time for them.
Yeah, but they probably don't think we're talking about them.
No, not those.
It's probably happened quite a lot this week.
Well, possibly.
I do know quite a lot of gay people, right? But they do jump about when it comes to partners.
Right. Karl.
No, Lee. Freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Let the man speak.
No, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I mean, it's quite, they don't, if they get bored, they move on that. Which is fair enough, but they do,
How have you pieced this together?
And they go out late, don't they?
Well, we've covered that, haven't we? We've done that.
Yeah. How have you, so you...
Do you know how we covered that? His favourite record is Killing a Georgie. And he went, at the end of the record, he went, "See, but how late was it?"
Yeah.
If he'd have been sort of going out at a decent time, that wouldn't have happened.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean, Steve, though? They're always getting ready to go out about 1:30 in the morning. You're asking for trouble.
Yes. Incidentally, I should just point out that,
Oh, dear.
that, we've had an email, I've lost it here now, but anyway, it was one of our listeners saying that we've slightly embarrassed ourselves because, of course, Bruce Springsteen on the cover of Born in the USA doesn't actually have a handkerchief in his back pocket. It's actually a red baseball cap. So, well, I don't know if that also counts. I don't know if it's any kind of object.
What does that mean, though?
Yeah, into heads. Into little round heads. Oh. If Bruce Springsteen, and he's obviously not gay, but if he said, "All right, Karl, just, little cuddle," would you turn down Bruce Springsteen?
Yeah.
Well, no, but why? Just like, all right, mate, you hug your mates, don't you? If Bruce said, all right, Karl, I like your show, love your head, little cuddle, a mate's cuddle.
No, I just, I say, what you doing?
You just say, look,
we're a couple of old friends.
Look, Bruce Springsteen wrote all those great songs. I like what you're doing. Let's cuddle. Let's have a little, all right,
the
mate.
annoying thing is, right, Steve, right, do you know how he likes to squeeze me head? How Ricky likes to squeeze me head?
Yeah.
He had an old mate over this week. He's got a similar shaped head, apparently, as mine.
Yeah.
Right? He's hardly gave me a call or anything, because he was busy with this other fella's head.
Oh, you feel quite bad about that.
This is a better head to squeeze, I'll tell you why, because he shaves his every day, right? He's got the same sort of hair problem with him, shaves every day, right?
Problem?
No, I know, and it's because he's had it shaved all the time, like, Karl's is sort of comes through a bit long at the side sometimes. It looks a bit unkempt towards the end of the week. I've seen there's a couple of little pimples under there. But I really have to do it, just like get there, slap my hands in it, squeeze it. With this one, I can sort of get my finger, do you know what I mean? I get my, really, you know.
You're like a gay, the way you jump about from head to head.
That's my record. You're like a gay.
Just saying. Right, still coming up then.
What have we got coming up?
We got Rockbusters.
Oh, is there any monkey news this week?
It's been a problem.
Why?
It's not much has been going on this week.
What, in the monkey world?
In the monkey world. I don't know if they've caught on to the fact that they're getting coverage.
They're keeping their behaviour hush-hush.
Be a bit careful, but I found something.
Have you got Rockbusters? It's your last chance, don't forget. Is it good, these?
Got Rockbusters, got some good prizes. Steve will look at them in a bit.
Yeah.
Cheeky Freak of the Week.
Have you got a Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Got that. Got that.
So what deformity is it this week that you're ridiculing?
Well, keep listening.
I didn't really appreciate the Stones when I was younger. I was always a Beatles fan, but now I can't really listen to the Beatles. It's like I've used them up.
It's about 5 tracks I like.
Yeah, but the Stones just get better and better.
And that one's brilliant. And the video's so good as well.
Amazing. From 1981. That was Waiting on a Friend. From the Rolling Stones.
Right.
What we got? We got more fun coming up, I imagine.
Yeah. Cheeky Freak of the Week. An amusing story about inflatable testicles.
We've already given you half an hour talking about gay people. Who knows what else will be coming up?
Yeah, it's big market. Out of Time by Blur on XFM 104.9. All right, Karl.
No.
What are you thinking?
Just thinking about stuff.
You're an enigma, aren't you?
I would just say hello to, we've got an American listener apparently, Karen. Anyway, what else have you got? I thought that might fill up 4 seconds.
We're not struggling, are we?
No.
We
well, just consult the list of Dr. Fox-esque amusing topics.
Wet Ones, Screwball, Shop Train, Cheeky Freak, Ronan.
What was Ronan?
Ronan. I just was telling you the other day about, that song that he does. Loving Every Day as if it's your last one.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking he's saying that as if like, I'll have a good day. But I reckon if you knew it was your last day, I don't think you'd be in the mood to do anything.
Yeah, but that's true.
But I
think the point is that it's living every day like it's your last. So, God, imagine if it was every day like the last. Right, let's go mental. And the good thing is, we've got tomorrow. So he's got the best of both worlds. That's what Ronan's saying. He's saying cram it in, because it might be the last. I think it's more like, it's the not knowing, isn't it? Live every day. I'd actually be happy if I never knew when I was going to die, and I was definitely going to die in my sleep. What a brilliant life you'd have. Do you know what I mean?
What, so you don't get an illness, but one night you go to bed and...
I know that if you knew you were going to die in your sleep and never knew when you were going to die, it wouldn't matter if it was tomorrow or 30 years' time. It wouldn't matter, would it?
Yeah.
I've lost you, haven't I? I've lost you somewhere. I can't, I thought that was pretty easy, all that. I said die in your sleep and not know when you died. There was no high concept there. No sleight of hand linguistically. Where did I lose you?
I think you lost him on sleight of hand linguistically. Just then. You've lost him again.
Yeah, I think that's the way I'd want to go. I don't want to know about it. That's why I don't go to the doctors or anything.
That's a good approach.
And do you know, remember him saying he's going to die of cancer because he doesn't check his balls. He doesn't like the feel.
Of course.
What do they feel like, your balls?
Like a wet chamois leather.
With 2 marbles, 2 kumquats in a wet chamois leather.
No, but I just...
Why are they wet? Sweaty?
No, they're not. I'm just saying smooth.
Are they smooth?
Yeah, because a chamois leather's smoother when it's...
Do you shave them?
No, I don't.
In case a fireman pops round, you want to look your best. It looks like your head. You know, a fireman pops round, there you are, and he goes, oh, nice, smooth.
So you never go to the doctors? What, even...
I don't like it.
But if you found some buboes under your arm or something,
I'd wait for a bit, and I'd say to Suzanne, what do you think of that?
Just see if it develops into plague.
Well, yeah, because you know, don't you?
Old bandages round your head.
Yeah.
And a bell.
Yeah.
Suzanne, where are you out? Can you get me a bell?
Exactly.
Brilliant. There was this kid at our school we took the piss out of for basically the rest of his time there, because when he was about 11, someone said, "How would you want to die?" Right? We do that thing, drown in fire or that. He said, "I want to die of old age in my mother's arms."
How old was he?
Like 11.
Loser. In my mother's arms?
No.
What, getting off with her? What does that mean?
Die of old age. You know, so how old she? Brilliant. I want to die of old age with my nan and my mum.
Yeah, all in the same bed.
Oh dear.
So if it was the last day, if you had one day to live, okay, what would you do with your day? Now let's assume that you're not in a state of ill health.
There's not much you can do.
It's just the end of the world. And
What do you mean there's not much you can do? I mean, that's what we're asking you.
It's the last day of your life.
It depends, doesn't it? If we're all in the same boat, if someone says, oh, unlucky, without bitterness, like, oh, we accidentally exposed you to some radiation poison, you got a day, or if it was like, there's a meteor coming this way, we're all in the same boat, I think it would be different. It depends whether it's you and the rest of the world. No?
I'd do the same thing. I'd steal a car and go joyriding. But like, go mental. I'd be smashing stuff, I'd be knocking people over for a laugh. I'd be going crazy. It'd be like Grand Theft Auto.
Right,
It would be extraordinary.
Brilliant.
Driving through parks.
That's why I did the getaway.
Yeah.
I tried to play it seriously, and within about 10 minutes I was just going around areas I knew, trying to knock people over.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to do that much. Seriously. You can watch telly, because you might not know how the thing ends.
Sure. Yeah, be a waste of time.
You could watch 24, couldn't you? If you had a day.
Yeah.
On DVD.
Do that then, do that.
Do that, yeah?
Well, but I mean, let's be honest. Let's say you can take all the money out of your bank account. You can fly anywhere in the world. You can do whatever you want.
Well, not a long flight. You could.
Well, no, but you've got your girlfriend.
Australia, you wouldn't make it, would you?
No.
Why wouldn't you go to the monkey sanctuary down in Cornwall and just go around cuddling as many monkeys as you can?
I'm going to tell you something now.
Go on.
Go in there next week.
Are you?
Yeah. Taking my mum and dad away, because like Suzanne's mum and dad.
What, you're donating them?
Most people put them in a home. What are you going to say? How your monkey sanctuary is cheaper.
Taking them down, taking them down to Cornwall.
Hold on, I thought you said you'd never go away with parents again.
No, but that was Suzanne's mum and dad.
Oh, is this to get even or something?
So we'll do that, and then we'll can it, then.
That was your outing. You're phoning both sets of parents over and goes, right, you won't be seeing us ever again on holiday. We've taken you away,
Be careful that the monkey people don't buy you off your parents.
Yeah. And don't make sure they don't leave any of the monkey's food in the telephone box, because Dad'll have that away.
Yeah.
No. I was talking to him about that the other day. About the nicking in phone boxes. And he
should we just explain that to people?
They live in a small village in Wales, and it's like one sort of utility store, and when it's shut, they leave your shopping in the telephone box across the road. And Karl's dad found out about this and goes and helps himself.
Yeah, to other people shopping.
That's terrible. Yeah, go on.
And I was talking to him about that, saying, have you picked up any surprises in the phone box? And he said, no. We were talking about other stuff he used to do. One of them used to be going in this supermarket, right, in Manchester.
Yeah.
Needs a new pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Go in, take a new pair off the shelf, pop them on, leave his old ones there.
Really?
And walk out again.
Yeah, brilliant.
And then you'd go in after and buy his old ones back like an idiot.
Yeah. You'd go in the next day. They look nice. Yeah. My dad's got a pair just like that. I've always wanted some.
Can I have those?
Incidentally, we don't advocate the stealing of shoes from shops.
Or the joyriding and killing people.
Unless you've got one day left.
Okay.
Or phone boxes.
John. Fighting. M. Gervais, Merchant, Pilkington. Rockbusters.
Oh, brilliant. Is there a jingle for Rockbusters? I don't think there's ever been one, is there?
No.
Can you come up with one quickly?
Oh, Rockbusters.
Brilliant.
All right.
Well, the prizes this week, there's not many. I have to say, Karl's not sourced many, but what he's got are actually good quality.
Well, I'm trying to instill in him that it's, quality, not quantity.
Absolutely.
As opposed to like 15 copies of, Fools and Horses Christmas Special with a giveaway 3-wheeler
Yeah.
car and Primal Scream's greatest hits on 11 CDs.
Yeah. Not Primal Scream, in Spiral Carpets.
Oh, that was it, yeah.
Spiral Carpets. Anyway, yeah, we've got this new Kiss FM hip-hop classics compilation, which has got some really good stuff on there. New stuff from the likes of, Outkast and the Wu-Tang, but some old classics from Public Enemy, and of course LL Cool J's Mama Said Knock You Out. It's worth having alone for that track.
Yeah.
I think this is 4 CDs? No, 2 CDs. The Best Air Guitar Album in the World, Volumes 1 and 2, and a special box set.
Yeah.
You've got all sorts on there.
Is May?
Brian Adams is on there, Robert Palmer.
May,
but also
Palmer.
excellent stuff. Beastie Boys, Clash, we got the Kinks, so that's good. Abigail's Party, the DVD thing with Alison Steadman. I know you're quite a fan of that, aren't you, Rick?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
She's, from many years ago, if you've not seen it, it's good. This Later with Jules Holland DVD, it's got live performances from PJ Harvey, the Cardigans, Rollins.
But he is playing Boogie Woogie over their tracks.
I would hope so.
Okay, good.
And also, is this the new albums from The Thrills?
Yeah,
Is it the album? Yeah. So that's a little.
Wow.
Is that exclusive? It's not even out yet, is it?
I know, not even out.
Not even out.
Wow, that's the sort of things that Karl can come up with if pushed. It's all about the game, though. It's all about the game. The prizes are just for fun. It's all about the playing the game. Let's see what Karl's come up with this week. This is his last chance. If I ever hear anything like New Odour again, that's the end.
Okay.
They did get it though, didn't they? So they're working out. They will do it.
Just let's have the jingle again.
All right.
Oh, Rockbusters.
Right. If you haven't heard it before, cryptic clues that make up a band and some initials to help you on your way as well. Right? So,
well, you'd never get it without, but go on.
First one. That fella likes sucking on iron. Right.
That fella likes sucking on iron.
Yeah. The initial M. Right.
Okay.
That fella likes sucking on iron. Right. That's the first one. Second one. The Jamaican fella spots a boat.
Oh, God.
Say that again.
The Jamaican fella spots a boat.
Spots a boat.
Yeah. Right.
The Jamaican fella spots a boat.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
All right.
Initial D.
D.
D. D.
Okay.
D. D.
All right.
And the last one. Do you want a game of tug of war? Well, it's up to you. You own it. Right.
Interesting.
I've just got number 2.
Right. Do you want...
Oh, God. Right,
The
go
third
on.
one. Do you want a game of tug of war? Well, it's up to you. You own it.
And what's the initial?
E.
All of them again, quickly.
Right, so the first one. That fella likes sucking on iron. That's M. Second one. Jamaican fella spots a boat. Right. That's D. And the last one. Do you want a game of tug of war? Well, it's up to you. It's, you own it. Right.
This is it like it's a whole story by the end.
That's E.
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Please don't
Email only.
Email him. We cannot be bothered to answer the phone. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Brilliant. White striped.
Excellent. Forthcoming single from the White Stripes, I Just Don't Know What to Do With Myself. Worth checking out the webcam. Ricky's made Karl some kind of... I don't know, how would you describe that?
I don't know, it's like a new thing. It's sort of like a scarf, sort of bandana. I just invented it. I don't know what it's called.
Talk us through it, if you would.
Well, all it is, it's a length of toilet paper, but you can use silk, whatever thing, and you just put it round his neck, and then round the back, and up over the ears, and tied to a little bow jauntily on the side. If you could actually stand up, just in case they got a webcam shot of it, you can see that there.
What would you call that?
I don't know. It's sort of like a bandana, but I don't know. Neckadana, neck chief.
A neckadana?
Bandana chief.
A Karl chief.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll be marketing those if anyone's listening.
Yeah.
So,
and would you do them in a variety of different colours for gay people?
Red Hot Chili Peppers, Universally Speaking on XFM 104.9. Well, halfway through, Steve. I'm Ricky Gervais. That was Mr. Merchant I was referring to there as Steve. Familiar. Friends by now. 5 years in the making. Karl Pilkington, I know him a year and a half, but he's a good friend as well.
All right.
XFM, where paths cross. All right.
Oh, so, any interesting things to talk about, guys? Dr. Fox style? Any amusing observations? Have you taken a sideways look at the week's news or anything, Karl? What have you...
Tell you what I did here last night.
Go on.
5 Live. They do like a review of what's gone on in the week. We've been busy in the week. I haven't always got time to follow what's going on.
In the world, sure.
Someone's made a chicken with teeth.
For what reason?
Don't know, because they can.
Just because they can.
And like
So it chooses food.
Yeah.
They had a few guests saying, well, you know, where will it all end?
So you sure you weren't watching a Wallace and Gromit video?
No, seriously, right? They're doing it.
They're a chicken with teeth.
Why would they spend millions researching?
What do you mean they've got a chicken with teeth? What do you mean there's a chicken with teeth?
Sounds mad, doesn't it?
What are you talking about, Karl?
That's what they've done. Do you know, like...
Why?
I don't know. They're just messing with science and that, and that's what the people were saying. Why are you doing that? Do you know what I mean? Where will it start? What's the next thing? They did the sheep. They did the cloning. Right?
The rat with an ear on its back.
Did that.
Can hear a cat coming, can't it?
What else were they talking about? They were talking about that sheep again, that cloning one.
Yeah, Dolly the sheep.
Do you think it's that clever? Well, they do all look the same anyway.
What's it got to do with its cleverness? Being cloned.
Being cloned, is it? Do you think that's a good thing?
He doesn't think it's that impressive because they look the same anyway.
Right.
They could have just put any sheep in there and go, look, they're the same. Yeah. Brilliant.
So there was a programme, people were talking about
What are you talking about, a chicken with teeth?
It was the latest news. It was like all about the war and that, and I was like, yeah. And then it's a chicken with teeth and saying, hang on.
Your ears perked up.
Yeah, you didn't hear anything about the war, did you? That was like, they might have been speaking French, or just like whistles. And now, story about a chicken with teeth.
Yeah.
You stop washing up,
maybe someone can let us know, you know.
Oh, God, don't open the floodgates.
No, but I'm just saying I don't know the full thing. Of
course you don't.
Surprise.
They just touched on it.
Yeah.
Anyway, other stuff I did do proper research on in the week.
Go on.
Having testicles done.
Having your testicles done?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Same magazine that was doing the hanky coverage. Letting you know what all that's about.
Sounds like a great magazine.
How can we get him as a pundit on these news shows like Newsnight? Do you know what I mean? Sky News.
On there, wouldn't he?
Just on there, just ask him what they think. Wouldn't that be amazing? Is there a producer out there that would take a chance on Pilkington? It's Pilkington, Raggy Omar, Ian Hislop, and they're a panel of people, and they just ask people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can have your testicles made bigger.
Why would you want to do that?
Well, that's what I was asking. What's the point?
Well, the actual testicles, or do they just inflate your ball bag? Because you could do that, couldn't you? You could have some air injected so it was like a big... so they'd look bigger, but they'd rattle around inside, wouldn't they? Make a little noise, wouldn't it, when you're at... like manacas.
Like some kind of instrument.
Yeah. That was sort of like one of those African instruments. It's like a big sheep's bladder with all...
There's Pedro on the manacas.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stripped to the waist.
Yeah. With us hanging out. When you're sort of like... the neighbours would think, what's he doing? He's been playing those manacas all night. And really, you were...
Yeah.
You know...
Why
the mouse with the ear on its back, go and keep it down.
Yeah, this is really loud to me.
Hey, why would someone have that done then?
You brought it up.
Yeah,
well, presumably so that they could draw a little funny face on them.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And you could let them down after the holiday, like you do a Lilo.
Exactly.
Just let them, yeah. On holiday, you're floating round, you know, like you're just in the sea with your big instrumental manacas, right? Just floating. You're having a whale of a time, like people playing it as they go past.
Exactly.
All right, Karl. All right,
Become a bit of a sort of local celebrity.
Yeah, look, there's Karl with his floating manacas, like a big jellyfish, right?
Yeah.
And then the end of the holiday, or Saturday.
If you've got a little pair of tight speedos, it'll be like Jordan walking around.
And then you just like...
Just let them down when you come back.
Let the knackers down for the plane.
Mm. Yeah. Because apparently they do get bigger, don't they, as you get older? When you're an old fella.
No, I think they get lower. I think that's it, that testicles and breasts get lower.
Is that purely gravity?
I think so, yeah. Probably stretching a bit, innit?
So is it
wear and tear?
Is the old fellas who are walking about saying, "Oh, sick of these"?
They don't tread on them.
Well, that's why old people have always got to have a little sit down. You know, 100 metres.
Yeah.
Put them in the socks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or they can have them. I suppose you can have like a little ball lift. You can have a facelift, can't you? Have a little nip and tuck. Or probably a facelift would help, wouldn't it? Because if you pull your face up.
That's going to bring the skin up.
Bring up a little bit, yeah. Don't go too far. You'll have a little knob as a tie. But you can, you can tighten stuff up.
Speak for yourself.
Steve with his kipper tie. That's a lovely tie you've got there, Steve. And you look so young. Yeah. What's that little sack underneath it? That little brooch. Well, wait. Playing with your little manacas all night, Carl. So, a chicken with teeth, and you can have your balls done. That's... Imagine Kirsty Ward, whatever her name is, on Newsnight, saying that. And now, 2 features of the week. The war in Iraq, let's forget that. Who wants their knackers done? And look at this chicken. Careful, it bites.
I think we should send this link to Dr. Fox and see if he thinks it's an improvement on what he heard during the sodas.
Play a record. Yeah, get this link, send it to Dr. Fox. He'd love it.
All right.
Plus, he'd be able to offer some kind of medical explanation.
Yeah, exactly.
Teenage Fan Club.
Oh, brilliant. One of Kurt Cobain's favourite bands, apparently, Teenage Fan Club, and that was the song Radio.
He loved them.
We've just had an email here. It says apparently they created the chicken with the teeth in order to prove that DNA can be reverse stimulated. The theory being that if you can revert chickens to a state in which it has teeth, I don't know if it ever had teeth, you can alter someone's DNA to stop them going bald, Karl.
Did they mean that because birds came from reptiles that had teeth, outcrops, and then changed into a beak or whatever, that they revert... I don't understand, they revert DNA.
I mean, there's not quite enough science here for me to be able to answer it in detail.
Well, not for us maybe, but I think Carl's probably grasped it. What do you think that means, Carl?
Yeah.
What did he say?
Okay, moving on.
Ah, dear. Oh.
Life's too short.
What else is there?
Have you got a monkey news coming up soon?
Like I say, it's been a struggle. We'll do that. We'll do Cheeky Freak of the Week. Do you want to?
Oh, definitely. Should we do Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Cheeky Freak of the Week?
I can't wait. I'll always do these. I'd start off with these.
All right, well, let's have the jingle for Cheeky Freak of the Week.
Oh, no.
Do you remember it?
No.
I remember it.
Oh, Cheeky Freak of the Week.
Brilliant.
Something like that?
I want some more, though, because that was slightly half-high.
Oh, Cheeky Freak of the Week.
Excellent.
Right. This, we're going back again.
Yeah, 17th century?
Well, it was 1829, right?
Oh, I'm impressed.
Now, the problem is with Cheeky Freak of the Week...
not so much the week, is it, if you're going back to 1829?
Well...
Not even of the century. You haven't even done Cheeky Freak of the century.
There's...
What's the problem with Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Just because...
Other than the sort of moral implications.
Yeah.
Well, last week, it was a fellow with 2 heads.
Yeah.
We've done Siamese twins. It's Siamese twins again.
Oh,
No, it was Siamese twins. It wasn't a fellow with 2 heads last week. It was Siamese twins. Conjoined twins, sorry. They're 2 different people. This is what I'm telling you.
But this is the problem. They're going to crop up quite a lot just because they've got double a chance. All right?
Oh, please don't write in and complain. He knows not what he does. You understand, don't you? Karl will actually feature one day in this section.
Yeah.
So, right, go on, Karl.
We're going back to 1829.
Yeah.
All the way back there to 1829.
The retro conjoined twin link.
A couple of guys set up a business. They were called Chang and Ang.
Oh, they're the first. That's why they were called Siamese twins, because they wasn't that what it was based on? Those 2, Chang and Ang.
Was it?
The original, yeah. That's why they're called Siamese twins, because I think they were Siamese.
So these are the first ones.
Well, not the first ones, but they're the ones that got to fame, I think, and why people started calling them. People started calling them conjoined twins, Siamese twins. I think I'm right there.
Anyway.
Good. Well, the sort of set up business, sort of going around the US.
Well, both of them.
And Europe, yeah.
Yeah.
And what they used to do, people were amazed by it anyway. But
Yeah.
people wanted to know how they get through life doing certain things that you think about. When you think about Siamese twins, you think about, how do you get through a day like that?
Yeah.
And the thing that cropped up the most with people was how they take a bath. So they used to go on tour around the US and Europe and sit in a bath, have a wash and that. And
did they ever wash each other by mistake? They go, oh, that ends there. That ends there. Like those things in supermarkets. They put one of those down. We go, oh.
What do you mean?
Put that there.
What do you mean?
You know the things on the conveyor belt? The little
dividers.
Yeah.
They wind me up, those dividers. Sorry, I was a complete tangent, but for some reason, it's my own psychosis, but I get so annoyed if I'm in a supermarket, I've got my shopping, I'm just about to get served, and you can always see there are certain people who stand behind you getting edgy, itchy, worried that I'm not going to put the divider down to separate my shopping from theirs. It's like they're terrified that I'm somehow going to deliberately pay for their shopping.
Sneaking their onion.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't get an onion, I'll have that. And it's just, but what annoys me is it's not so much that, obviously it's a practical thing, it's the fact that they get a little bit edgy. You can actually see, certainly kind of, dare I say it, certain breed of woman and a certain breed of fella will just get a little bit itchy, a little bit edgy, and they just look at you, can just see them sweating, especially if they can't reach.
I just lean over and do it myself.
Well, I know, but the thing is that it's like they almost feel that they ought to wait for me to do it, as though somehow it's my obligation. And it just for some reason, I know it's ludicrous, but it really annoys me, and I actually deliberately don't put the divider down just to see them sweat.
I like the way that they're actually quite well made. There's some that are brass with like a felt bottom.
Yeah.
Like you really care. Like a twig would do, wouldn't it? You know what I mean?
But I just leave a slight gap. And then when it gets to when the woman's putting it through the till, or the guy, I just say, that's my stuff.
Do you ever look at other people shopping and go, oh, I should have got that?
Often.
Oh, yeah. That's annoying.
I'll tell you what it is, it's the same thing, and again, it's my psychosis. When people, if you're on a bus or a train, and we're pulling into the stop, but there's a good, kind of 35 seconds before we're actually going to come to a halt, they leap up, and they're straight by the door.
Yeah.
But it's this fear that they're going to miss out. Oh my God, what if I fell over now and broke my ankle? I'd never get out.
To be fair, I've never had that commuter's worry. I've never commuted, but every second counts, doesn't it? Because you miss a train, it can make a difference of half an hour. So that's why commuters literally run to get their connections.
But the thing is that with a bus,
there's
often there'll be people who are sat right next to the exit will get up and stand up for a while, waiting to get out. It just, again, I'm not saying it's not, it makes perfect sense to them. It's my psychosis.
They're going to be mowed down in the streets.
They will just be a few of the
You're
people.
going to be in a lovely Chrysler.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I will be going straight through a branch of Waitrose.
Yeah.
Taking people out in the
we do not condone going through Waitrose in a Chrysler.
In a car.
Now, as Changanang, they're in the bath, they're washing their own bits, they've got one of those dividers, right? They go, well, that's definitely yours. I marked mine. That's definitely mine.
What?
Don't wash that, Chang. I wouldn't hang. I wouldn't wash that. Right? So what are they doing? They're in the bath. Carry on with the story.
That's about it, really. I mean, that's the fact that people...
So, two little Oriental fellas joined in the hip, had a bath.
No.
That's your story.
No, they didn't have a bath. They they must have done some sort of research, right?
Who?
Changanang, right? And they said, well, what do people want to see?
Isn't that basically Roller's song?
But it's an idea that people have queued up. They've paid their money. They're in a tent. They're, well, I hear they're going to have a bath. They're going to have a bath. Two Chinese people have a bath. How would they possibly do it? Well, I've heard they get into a bath.
But that's
I don't know
they
what's
wanted to see them nude and where the join was.
No.
More than how do you get in the bath?
I don't know. They just that's what they picked. They said, what would be good to see? What do you want to see them do?
Having a bath.
How'd you get into trousers? Was there
Exactly, this is all part of it, and that's why they picked having a bath.
This is all part of it. Well, they want you to get dressed afterwards.
Yeah.
Who was the best out of Changanang? Who was your favourite?
They both look the same, to be honest.
There's a surprise. One was a short ginger woman. Oh dear.
Is there anything what would be better than having a bath for you when you'd seen them? What would sort of make you go, oh, I wonder?
One of them pulling and the other one going home alone.
Yeah.
I go, look, she's definitely up for it. I'm taking her home and go, oh, what am I going to do? Can I watch? Definitely not. Definitely not. Look, you go to bed. I want to wine and dine her.
But if he's got back to their place and they're going at Hammer and Tongs, but are you saying one of them?
No, Hammer and Tongs were their cousins.
Right.
They lived miles away.
Yeah. If one of them gets knackered, can the other one take over?
God, I think we play a record.
That annoys me.
What?
That sort of being at it all night.
What do you mean?
Let's put a song and I'll come back
What
to
do you mean?
No,
come on.
seriously, because...
Okay.
R.E.M., yeah.
Well, after R.E.M., Night Swimming, being at it all night, and why it annoys Karl. Night Swimming by R.E.M. Well, before we played that track, you remember Karl was on the, teetering, on the cusp of telling us why he's annoyed at going all night. I assume you mean...
Relations.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What annoys you about that? What?
Social relations all night.
The concept, or people keep you up. Is it your next door neighbours or something?
No, just that thing of people who say, "Oh, was that it all night last night?"
Who says that to you?
You know, lads who think they're, they think they're a bit of a lad and think that means it's good.
What, like Sting and his tantric sex?
Sting.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, it goes for 8 hours, but only 3 minutes of that is going for it. The other sort of, 7 and a bit is sort of laying next to each other, isn't it?
Right.
Or sometimes in a different room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that why it's called Sting?
Hey?
Well, if you're at it all night, bet it.
It's gonna sting. So what's your problem with this notion of going at it all night?
It's just that thing of, get it done right the first time. Do you know what I mean? Get it done.
Yeah, get in, get out like the SAS.
Once you've done it, you've done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no fanning around.
No messing about. So, it's just that, isn't it? It's like, do it right the first time. Once you've washed up, right, you put the pots away, you don't dirty them again.
What a lovely analogy.
That's one of the great
Is that what you
metaphors.
say to Suzanne? Come on, love. Once you've washed up.
I've already washed up.
You don't dirty the pots again. Go.
What a romantic
Ding dong.
song.
Hello, is there a fire? Oh. Hello. Did he have a moustache, the fireman?
Oh.
Radiohead, They're There on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington with the answers to Rockbusters, the biggest quiz on radio, probably. Mm-hmm. Do you want to remind us the quiz?
No, you mean the crappiest quiz on radio?
Yeah.
Right. First one was, that fella likes sucking on iron.
Yeah.
Right. The initial was M.
Yeah.
What was the band? It was Metal Liquor. Alright.
What's Metal Liquor? No, wait, I've never heard of a band, Metal Liquor.
Metallica.
You said Metal Liquor, I don't understand.
Yeah, Metal Liquor. Metallica.
What? No, say it again and try and make Metallica sound like Metal Liquor.
Metallica. Metallica. Metallica.
Is he having a fit? Say it again. Make Metallica sound like Metal Liquor.
Metallica. Metallica.
Okay, next one.
Right.
Yeah.
Second one, the Jamaican fella spots a boat. That was easy. That was D. That was Debage. You got that?
Make it sound like the band.
Debage.
Make it sound like a Jamaican fella saying, spotting a boat.
Debage. Right. So you got that one. And the last one. Do you want a game of tug of war? Well, it's up to you. You own it. Yeah. Right. That was E. That was your rope. Right. Europe.
Europe?
Right.
Who did the final countdown?
Yeah. So that's the...
No, what? We've let that go?
That's the 3 answers for this week. Who's the winner, Steve?
Well, again, I mean, there are lots and lots of people who got it right, Rick. So I don't know if it's just us that think this is rubbish.
Right.
But,
who's the winner?
Well, I'm always a fan of people with just something, a name, I don't know, that maybe tickles me.
Yeah.
And sadly, I did want to give it to, I wanted to give it to Daniel Jowett. Because for some reason, Danny Jowett.
Going to start.
But sadly, I just realised he got it wrong, so I'm going to give it to a different Dan.
So not only did you ridicule his name,
he's not even getting the prizes. But better luck next time, Danny Jowett. Instead, I'm giving it to Dan Mason of Ilford. So he got them right, and he wins those prizes.
All right. Well.
Okay.
More of that next week. I mean, what do we think?
We'll do it next week then.
Yeah.
Again.
Okay. What are you doing now? Got a record or what's that? Hoople.
Bit of Mott the Hoople.
Oh, it's a Hoople.
Yeah.
The Hoopsters.
Monkey News?
Next.
All right.
Mott the Hoople. Roll Away the Stone. Classic little ditty. On XFM 104.9. Right?
Play the jingle.
Oh, is it? Brilliant. Oh, chimpanzee that Monkey News Extra.
Well,
Is there Monkey News?
I'll tell you what, I've been having a bit of a problem this week.
Why?
It's just been a struggle. Normally, I can come into work on a Monday and there'll be something that's happened over the Saturday, over the Sunday night. Do you know what I mean? Over the weekend, the monkeys have done something. Been very quiet. I thought I'll be alright. Let's see how the week goes on. I don't know if they've caught on to the fact that we're giving this coverage now, or I don't understand. Normally people are emailing me stuff all the time about monkeys. Been very quiet week. Been checking, I was looking in books last night and stuff.
Is there any monkey news?
I've got some, but just because it's not that good, something else I found out that I thought I'd share with you.
Go on.
I was looking in the Guinness Book of Records, right, because I thought they'll have something in there about monkeys or something, right? And there's a little monkey, I think it lives in Asia, right? There's loads of them live in Asia.
Might just be travelling, but yeah.
And something they found out, I don't know if they've got it right, and that's why I want to bring it up. Apparently, it's the mammal, right, that's got sort of the pointiest eyes that pop out of their head. Steve. Now, the thing is, right, I thought that's interesting.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's the biggest with the sort of goggle eye type thing.
Right, yeah, go on.
Apparently, they come out of their head 1.6 centimetres.
1.6 centimetres? What, you mean they protrude?
Yeah, they protrude from the head at 1.6.
Okay.
What? How long?
Have you got a ruler, Rick? 1.6.
He's having a go.
I'd say I'd be a little bit annoyed if the monkeys beat me.
Well, I don't think it has.
That's what I'm hoping.
Is there anything we can... I mean, what's 1.6? Oh, can you...
It's about...
Drop your trousers.
It's, about 3/4 of an inch.
What do you think?
I don't know.
Have they got it right, or what?
Maybe I should come down to Monkey World with you next week.
So anyway, so that's not the monkey news. That's just something that cropped up. And
Sure.
I do know once, when we were playing pool in the office, I think Lucy was your partner.
Yeah.
It was me and Ash versus you and Lucy. And you were having trouble because his glasses kept slipping down. So Lucy pushed his glasses up his nose, but the glasses touched his eye. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He started it.
Well, you're the one who joined in.
No, I know, and I feel bad now.
Yeah.
He makes me nervous when he goes, yeah. It's like, play a record.
No, I'm just trying to think about which part of your fat, middle-aged physique I can pick on.
The tits would be a good
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the belly.
Sure.
Oh, what do you think of that?
Oh, that's... What is that?
Play a record.
is that monkey news for this week?
Have we not got any other monkey news?
Well, it's just, it hasn't been that good. I mean, the one that I found out here, because we've covered so much in the monkey world, right? The fact that we've done a monkey that was a sort of half man, we've done a monkey that got a decent job in a train station. Can you think of any of the other?
Well, that's just some of the great monkey news from the past.
That's what I mean. So that's what you got to compete with. So even though this is quite amazing,
just tell us.
Another monkey's got married.
Oh, not another monkey getting married.
What do you mean?
It's got another one, you know, it was knocking about with some woman monkey for a bit.
A woman monkey.
They decided to, you know, get married.
Yeah.
They did.
What do you mean they decided to get married?
Was it pressure from her parents?
They had a good do, and
good do. I love the spread. I love that. Peanut vol-au-vents.
Yeah.
Celebrated in a pub, and then they both went off to the cage that night. That's what I mean. Even though that is quite impressive,
But
because
it's not true. Or it's a joke. It's nothing. It's not.
on an Nova website, official sort of news website.
2 monkeys have married in Romania after a whirlwind romance. Well, that's...
After a whirlwind romance.
God, yeah. Yeah, a quick one hanging onto the rope. Yeah. She was in the tyre.
Yeah.
He saw it.
Yeah.
He went, I'll have a go at that. They go, we got to marry her now.
Yeah.
Her parents came in and said, did you just shag my
He was in a
daughter's
zoo
wife?"
knocking one off. She went, I can do that for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Guests say the monkey bridegroom was scared by the number of people attending the wedding and refused to get out of his cage. But his bride
not bloody Hello Magazine again.
No, it wasn't. No, I think it was like last minute nerves.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm single now. It's like, you know, it's the big step.
Yeah.
But his bride enjoyed every minute of it. She was loving it.
Yeah,
she
sure.
looked lovely, by the way. She looked lovely.
Yeah. Did she? Oh, good.
Reports she only appeared to have problems with her veil and dress. Do you see, you know, this is the guest.
I hope they didn't ruin it like Anthea Turner and maybe get sort of sponsorship PG tips or something.
Totally, with strong plum brandy, so they got them drunk as well. So they carried on the celebrations at the pub, and the bride was taken to her new husband's cage at night. I apologise. Play a record.
I'll tell you what winds me up.
What?
Monkeys getting married.
I know.
And I'm not getting any action, and I got bigger eyes.
Little by little. Oasis on XFM 104.9. Well, that's the show. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. Karl, do you think it was a good show today?
It was alright, wasn't it? With some,
What do you think the loyal listener has gotten from today's show? What do you think that, you know, we've added to the world?
Well, I think they know what they've got, right? But if someone's just tuned in, I can tell them they've missed out on some good stuff. They've missed out on Chang and Ang.
Yeah.
They're the two who are the one who invented the ones who invented, you know, the Siamese twin thing.
Yeah, that's it. They invented it. Yeah.
You've got you've had like How We'd Spend Our Last Day.
Yeah.
Right?
Running people over.
Chicken with teeth.
Oh, he says it like, you know, there's no other show that could give you all this. Yeah, go on.
Gay Yankees. We've done that.
Yeah.
No one will be having a problem there tonight.
Yeah.
Another monkey marriage.
Another monkey.
Another
It
one.
sounds like the end of the news.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The headlines on Sky News and headlines and another monkey marriage in Romania.
If you've thought about having your testicles bigger,
Yeah.
we've sort of covered that.
Yeah.
And the monkey that had big eyes.
Yeah.
If it's listening, you know, its position might not be safe in the Guinness Book of Records.
And of course, Karl stays hard by looking at firemen.
Indeed, we've also learnt that.
Well, that's not true.
Well, you did.
Yeah. All we know is that you saw a fireman and it didn't seem to affect your erection.
We avoided saying erection
In fact,
for 2 hours.
if anything, it prolonged it, from what we can
We've
tell.
avoided saying erection for 2 hours, and then he just you know,
healthy young man.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, sure, I'm sure he was. I'm sure he was, but...
Firemen keep Karl hard.
right.
You asked me to
Pete for
dinner,
listening.
you
Amy Mann to end with. See you next week.
The darkness growing on me on XFM 104.9. Oh, it's all going well already, isn't it? The microphones fell apart. Karl's shouting because he got headphones on.
His music's turned up too loud.
Canfield level. God, it got pre-out. Look at him giggling. Look at him. Look at him laughing. That's so funny because I got a letter here from who was it from? Mike Heel, who sent me a little picture of a little Japanese fella from a film who said looks like me, and he does a little bit. But he says, please can you make Karl laugh? I've never heard him utter as much as a snigger, and I'm worried he may have a genetic disorder. Well, I mean, he has got a genetic disorder, obviously. But, he was giggling then. I hope, people heard you then. Look at his little face.
It was a joy.
Oh, I love the things that make him happy.
But I love the fact just before the microphone came up and just before the record finished, he had his headphones on, the music was too loud and he was just shouting, Bauhaus, it's not working! Bauhaus, it's not working! Play something else!
I went and found Ziggy Stardust by Bauhaus and he said, why isn't it working? Look at him giggling, look, he's lost it! Is he going away? Are you on drugs, Karl? What have you done? He's tickled, look at his little, he looks like one of those shaved monkeys. Look at his little, oh my god, I've never seen a forehead glow.
I know, it's extraordinary.
Oh.
And he's got that red shirt on as well, so the whole of him is just a big glowing...
Karl, what are you trying? What are you putting in?
I'm going to see if I can get this to work.
Go on then.
Hang on.
Brilliant radio. I hope Dr. Fox is listening because I think he's eating his words right now, Steve.
Right, I think I've done it.
Well done. That's excellent.
Right, what
Let's play
doing?
Bauhaus now and let's try and compose ourselves. This is Ziggy Stardust by Bauhaus. It worked. That worked, didn't it? See, panic over. Calm now. Calm now. You're on holiday soon, aren't you?
Yeah.
You got to go off early.
Well, about About...
How many holidays have you had? Because I only ever have time off when I'm working, like doing another job, like, you know, filming or something. But you seem to have a lot of holidays, just like, and you were sick as well. You were just like, because you had wet trousers, which is a little bit... Do you not care about the job? I mean, I've got to ask because, you know what I mean, if I was in charge, I'd worry about your motivation or... Because yesterday we were trying to work out what you enjoyed doing, and we got to Manchester United and moaning. And that is the two we came up with.
I don't know where you get the moaning thing
You're
from.
always whinging.
About what?
Everything.
When? When did I last have a moan?
Just before we came on air.
Right, and why was that?
I don't know, I can't remember. Because we were in good mood. We were in a good mood, me and Rick.
I'll tell you why.
Go on.
Because you brought a song in at 10 to 1.
Yeah.
With a load of effing and jeffing in it.
Yeah.
And saying, can you edit this?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's your job.
You could have brought it in yesterday.
No, I couldn't.
Why not?
I hadn't thought of it. But why are you whinging? That's your job. And I didn't come in 10 minutes before. It was a good 20 minutes before. It just took you ages because you were whinging and moaning to even get started.
I'm not being dragged into this.
You are always...
I'm on my holiday now.
Well, not yet. No, you're not on yet. You're still working.
Well, that's what's funny. This isn't even work, right? And yet it should be. Compared to what I do in the week, this is a doddle.
Well, it's because you're not putting any effort in, clearly. Where are you going anyway? Where are you heading?
Cornwall.
Yeah? What's happening down there?
Well, there's a monkey world.
You're excited about that?
We're going to go and see that. Probably go twice to that.
Yeah.
Whilst I'm down there.
How long are you in for? The whole week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
this is with your parents, isn't it?
Yeah. Taking them out.
Your father, what do you think your father will be up to? What's he going to be nicking on this holiday?
Well,
Tin. There's a lot of tin in Cornwall. Since they've shut the mines.
He's just called Suzanne, said they've got there. Said it's a nice little place.
Mm-hmm. There'll be no towels when you get there.
So what are you do? What are you to do? Just going to chill out and sort of like go to the pub and stuff?
Yeah, like I say, I mean, all I've got planned is probably probably Tuesday and Thursday at Monkey World.
What about Wednesday? What are you thinking of Wednesday? Just wandering around?
Just sort of think about, you know...
King Arthur and that. Where he was down there, wasn't he?
I don't know, but I'll tell you something.
Where are you going? What town?
I don't know. I don't know where it is. Susan sorted it out.
Yeah, she sorted it out. I heard you on the phone to her saying, well, pack 2 pairs. Poor woman. She's packing your bags for you.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
you'd spend more time at home if Steve didn't come in at 10-2 with a rap record with, like, obscenities all over it.
Yeah, well, we'll play that next week.
Well, you didn't even get the job done, that's the thing. We can't even play it because you didn't get finishing time.
I tell you what, that method man, if he doesn't stop effing and jeffing, it's the end of his career. In my opinion. All this F that and yo Jeff, I'm a Jeff myself.
Yeah.
Or I'm hanging out with my Jeffs.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Jeff,
and we know you can't put out the J word on XFM.
Oh, Mother Jeffer.
Well, so we haven't got that, but what we have got...
Go on.
Monkey News.
We've still got a Monkey News, have we?
That's sorted out, that's coming up.
Yeah.
Rockbusters.
Yeah. Well, last chance. Definitely your last chance this time. You actually improved a little bit last week. You did a couple of good ones.
Yeah. Same again this week. And,
Cheeky Freak?
Controversial Cheeky Freak of the Week. Where Karl, finds, a human being with, some sort of, congenital or imposed deformity. Or, So, and we talk about that. In a wry way. Do you think that's big and clever?
No, but that's just it. It's never about taking the mickey out of someone, right? It's to make you think.
I'll tell you what isn't big and clever.
How lucky you are.
A dwarf with learning difficulties.
Nice.
Yeah. Well.
We'll explain it to you. That's the forthcoming single from British Sea Power. That's called Carrion.
That's nice and retro. That's like end of the 70s Bowie. That's great. On XFM 104.9. That's just some of the records
that we've played so far.
Do you know what I mean? You've had The Darkness, you've had Bauhaus. It's like, can it get any better, Karl, do you think?
Like I say, we've got Monkey News coming up. So.
Guess what? I lost 400 quid cash this week.
Gambling?
No, that's tragic. This is why it gutted me.
It wasn't even on your gambling addiction.
No, I had a photo shoot, I had a suit, and I'd claimed back some expenses, and I'd had it in my pocket. And then when I took the suit home, it must have fallen out in the street or the cab. And I remembered it, and I went every pocket twice. And it was just the fact, I don't think about, oh God, that's terrible, that's a terrible blow. I think, oh God, if I had it back now, it would be free money.
Yeah.
If I suddenly found it now, I'd have £400 that was just free money. And I had a little nap to get over it, and I was...
and you were fine.
I was okay. But that was... Someone just found... What a gift that is.
Oh.
Just, I mean, untraceable.
Was it in a money clip? Was it rolled up in a money clip?
No, it was just literally £400 in an envelope.
Oh,
and
that's
so
a treat.
I know. See, I'd always hand it in. I genuinely would. Unless I found it in the middle of a forest or something. If it was in a street... Do you know what I mean? No,
because a bear dropped it.
Yeah. But I mean, if I found it in a pub or a cab, I'd just hand it to anyone who was
rushing through.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'd hand it in.
Well,
but there's no way. If they found it in the street, there's no way they could do it. You know, it goes to the police station and it sits there for 6 months. But
yeah, exactly. Well, it's not. It's a waste of time. Pocket it. But because when I was younger, I remember being outside the post office once when I was about 10 or 12 and finding a purse. And thinking, oh, that's nice. And I opened it up, and there was some money in there, and a pension book, and so it was obviously an old lady. I found an address, I sent it to her, and my mum said, you know, you've been so good there, you'll probably get a little reward. She'll probably send you a little reward. Nothing. I got maybe a thank you note, but no cash, no moolah, nothing.
Really?
And I was livid, because I'd been told that I was going to get a reward. I thought I've been a good Samaritan, nothing. So, many moons later, when I was at university, I learnt from that, and this is the most bizarre thing.
This explains a lot, doesn't it, Karl?
This is like the Mary Celeste. I went to a cash point to I thought, I can't get my card in here. And I realised there was already somebody's card in the machine. They put the code in, but then they just disappeared. They'd been kidnapped or something. So it was just there, waiting, sitting. It said, what do you want to do? And it gave you a number of options. I thought, interesting.
Steal or go to heaven?
Yeah, exactly.
You went, oh dear.
Yeah. Well, I pressed balance, just to check what their bank balance was.
Unbelievable.
It was a considerable sum of money. I'm not going to lie to you. It was not typical student debt. It was like, I think they were a foreign student. There was a lot of cash in there. A lot of money.
Did you feel a slight bulge in your trousers when you saw the amount of money?
I couldn't believe my luck. I thought to myself, now then, I could just take that card out and hand it in, or I could teach them a small lesson.
Right.
And maybe give myself a reward, because last time I did that, I didn't get a reward. So if I give myself £30, then I'll take the card out.
30?
Give myself 30.
Yeah. You didn't really?
Well, I thought that's a good reward. And I went in, I handed the card in, I took that.
Steve,
and that's a little reward for me. And I'll tell you this, don't think it's evil, because I went in and I bought everyone a drink.
Well, brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't tell them I got the money free.
Well done. Excellent. So probably gangsters are quite generous with the money they've stolen from other people.
Yes, but someone's negligence, Rick, has lent... the thing is this,
Steve,
right?
I believe it, except that buying people a drink, Karl. What do you think?
Well, I kind of thought that when he said it, but then I thought, but they'll be buying him back.
So he's still up.
So in a way, he's still a winner.
Yeah. Everyone's a winner in that situation, including the student, because frankly, if there had been a less scrupulous person who found it, they'd have probably helped themselves to a considerable sum.
I cannot believe he did that.
There was thousands and thousands of pounds in there.
What if Beadle had jumped out and slapped you with his little claw and said, we've been filming this, merchant?
Well, so what?
How old were you then?
I don't know, 19, 20.
Would you do it again, or was it just to get the world back for the old lady's purse?
Possibly do it again, yeah.
You're joking!
Well, you've got to think of it this way. You've got to think of it as there was a lot of money in there, and someone less scrupulous than me would have taken a fortune. They'd have cleaned them out. Whereas I just took a small reward, which I thought was more than enough for someone's negligence. And I've returned the card. They've got the card back. Everything's fine. Think of someone else. I could have gone on a spending spree. I could have been buying stuff, all sorts.
Yeah, but it wasn't yours at all.
Yes, but they probably would have given me a reward. And because, you know, sometimes people forget or, you know, they don't give you a reward, I thought I should
You had to go at your dad for nicking a loaf of bread out of a phone box.
Yeah, but that's because it's for old people, geriatrics and stuff.
How do you know how old was your people who you were robbing from?
It was on a student campus.
Well.
Wow.
I thought it was excellent behaviour. I thought it was
that's
good, honourable behaviour.
That's showing another side to him, isn't it?
What would you have done, Karl, in that situation? And tell the truth.
I might have helped myself a little bit.
There you are.
I don't know what this is helping yourself a bit.
Like you say, just sort of, you know, send them back and sort of say, you know...
If you find a £1 coin in the street and you can be bothered to bend over for it, then have it. But someone's cash point card or personal belongings...
I'd let them know, though. Did you send it to them and say, I've service charge included. I've took that out already.
No, I handed it in to the...
Let them know? What do you mean you'd let them know?
I'd say, you know, you're lucky here, right, I just took, I'd probably say 20, actually.
Okay.
Because that's just like one note.
Sorry, right, okay. You are winding me up.
No, I'm not. I mean, not for once. I mean, I know what Steve's like. He is tight, right? He is. And you know that, don't you, Steve?
Financially, you mean?
Well, no, I mean, just the way you are. You're very sort of, you know, you're not wasteful with your money.
I'm careful. No, I'm not wasteful. Absolutely right.
No, but to the extreme.
Not towards the extreme. Not towards the extreme.
No.
Look after the pennies. The pounds will take care of themselves. All right? Simple to remember. Good advice.
Yeah,
all right?
But the thing is, right, I know that I take the mickey out of you for, like, you know, the way you look and stuff.
Sure.
Right?
Well, I'm right back at you.
But the thing is, you can't help that.
Absolutely.
But I'll tell you something that women don't like.
Sure.
And it's fellas who are tight with the money.
Sure. I'm not frugal with money with ladies. I'm frugal with money with you.
Well,
I've got no reason to splash money out on you.
I've never seen you splash money out.
Well, you've never been out with me.
Steve, have you ever splashed out on a lady?
No, but I hope to one day. The right lady.
Play a record. Blair, Out of Time on XFM 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Talking of money, Steve. Look at this, right? It's in the paper. A wife has had her beauty insured for £100,000 in case she grows ugly and her husband walks out. Nicole Jones, 26, of Chipping Sodbury, Gloucestershire, says £200 a year, pays £200 a year for a policy. She arranged it as a present for her husband Richard. Her beauty will be judged by a panel of builders. So,
have they been selected beforehand, do you think? Do the insurance company know who they are? I assume they're complete strangers.
So suppose, like, in 30 years' time, he looks at her and goes, "Oh, you've lost your looks." She goes, "Well, have I?"
Yeah.
He goes, "Well, yeah." "Well, have I?" They're calling the panel. Somebody's going, yeah. All right, get him out for that. Well, never mind that. It's she's lost it. Right, well, 100 grand. Well, 100 grand coming your way.
They stand on some scaffolding. Yeah. She walks by.
Yeah.
And if they will whistle.
That is amazing.
Do you think they give her a quote first?
Yeah, what if they say, "Actually, love, you've got nothing to lose. You're not oil painting anyway."
Yeah. We can't come round and judge your beauty for at least a week.
That is just open to abuse, isn't it? £100,000. Because I remember, in Japan, they're mad on golf, right? And if you get a hole in one, you throw a party. And it was costing them like thousands and thousands of pounds. So they were insuring themselves against getting a hole in one. And so miraculously, everyone was going, "I got a hole in one." "Did he?" "Yep."
Yeah.
Paying out insurance. I mean, they could be in that together, couldn't they? They're not. I'm sure they're not. They're probably more honest than you two that would take 20 quid out of a cash point. But, you know.
No, 30.
30. Yeah, 30. I like the wording, though. A wife.
Yeah, a wife. The word wife.
The word wife.
I don't know why I just find it's just an odd word. This is my wife.
Hello, the wife.
Yeah, the wife.
My wife.
It just seems a word that you have to say if you're 60.
I know.
Have you met the wife?
And even then, ironically, unless you don't know exactly, "Are you married?" "Yeah, my wife is from," you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense, but it's the wife.
People go, "Oh, better get back, I'm meeting the wife for dinner." Exactly. But especially when you know them.
I remember bumping into a friend of mine somewhere at a party, a couple that I knew, and I'd known both of them before they got married. In fact, I'd known her, I think, longer. And I said, "Where's so-and-so?" And he went, "Oh, the wife will be along in a minute." And it's just this notion that, but what, you use her name.
I know she is.
I know her name.
I
used to call her by that. Why?
It's like someone going, "You know I'm married. You know I'm married."
It's like showing
in the eyes of God, we are wed.
Exactly.
Yes, that makes me more of an adult than you.
It's the ownership. Yeah, it's like going, "You know I'm a real man. I've got a wife, and here she is. She's my wife."
I find there's the words that I find hard to say. In a shop, I could never ask for wet ones. Do you know what I mean? If I have to go and ask for wet ones, I won't bother. Or toilet duck. Another one I have a problem with, I never say, Snickers.
Why?
Don't know. I think it's I grew up with Marathon.
Yeah. See, this is so pathetic, I still get embarrassed buying toilet paper.
Really?
We know if you go into like your 24-hour shop just around the corner, not a supermarket, big shop, but if you just go in there and you're just maybe buying some milk, a chocolate bar, because it's like they know what you're up to. No, but they know you're going to use it to, when you're going to the lavatory at some point. It's too intimate.
But you just go, I know what you're thinking, I'll be using this after masturbation. Thus saving all embarrassment.
It goes to the porn mag on your phone.
Elvis Costello, Alison, from way back on XFM 104.9, a retro cut.
Indeed.
Wow. Up to the modern day, the newest game show around, Rockbusters.
Whee! Isn't there a jingle?
It'd probably be something like, Rockbusters. It would be very, along those lines. I've got to work it out, but I mean, let's go with that for now, and they'll be all ready next week.
Excellent. The prizes, once again, sourced by Karl Pilkington. I think it's been in the prize bag before, Karl, but good to see it back. The best air guitar album in the world ever.
Do they keep sending it back? Is that just fun? It comes through the window, tied to a brick.
Actually, there's a lot of good stuff on there. There's the Kinks.
Knopfler? Is there Knopfler?
Knopfler, I believe, is on there.
Is Clapton anywhere to be seen?
Definitely Clapton, I would have thought. A Deep Purple. We got Quo, Skinnerd, Mac, Snake is there, Straits, excellent. And, there's all sorts on there, obviously.
Yeah.
This is always an odd choice, but fair enough. This is the current album by the Yardbirds, their first studio album in 35 years. So the new music station XFM giving away that. Excellent. I suppose it's new music in some ways. A Smash Hits compilation. We got stuff on there. It's Aha, it's Curiosity Killed the Cat. It's all the old favourites. Plus 2 DVDs. Columbo.
What Columbo?
It's got a couple of classic Columbo episodes there. Suitable for framing.
One of the best TV programmes of all time.
Why do I get... You can always tell immediately who the villains are. Suitable for framing. I'm assuming that's some kind of art dealer. Maybe an artist. Candidate for crime. Presumably some kind of presidential or political candidate. That'd be good, I'm sure. Columbo. I mean...
Stab Woman. That was my favourite episode. Stab Lady Wife.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not sure why... Who would buy a Columbo DVD? Like, you can't find it on TV.
It's on now. It's on now. I guarantee, because someone could maybe email in, is there an episode of Columbo on now anywhere that got cable or digital? I think it will be.
Almost certainly.
But it is great.
And the other DVD here is Cruise of the Gods, which was the one-off TV kind of comedy film that was on at Christmas, featuring Rob Brydon and Steve Coogan. It's good.
Williams.
So, there's a few gifts there. Not bad. Not bad.
Right, now we get to the real deal. Okay, this is what everyone tunes in for. This is Monkey News, I think. Not the music. Go on.
Well, here we go then.
Yeah.
3 cryptic clues and that, and just work it out.
Cryptic, but
easy as that. Email in.
It's email in.
Right.
Well, what's the email address?
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Well, don't say that I know it or care.
I think. So the first one, he's got American coins all down his spine. Right? He's got American coins all down his spine. What band's that? What artist is it? Email in.
What does it begin with?
What? N.
I know it. I've got it already.
Right.
That's rubbish. Too easy. Yeah.
Right,
Go on
second
next.
one. Jeremy Beadle has got arthritis. Right. Jeremy Beadle has got arthritis.
Yeah.
That's the second clue. The initials there. SLF. Right. SLF. Jeremy Beadle's got a little bit of arthritis. And the third one, Foxy, Shipman, and a country western singer on a merry-go-round. SB, right? So Foxy, Shipman, and some country western singer having a go on a merry-go-round. The initial SD, right? So email in, ricky.gervais.
I'm intrigued with that one. I'm genuinely intrigued with that one.
I like the fact there's a certain whiff of controversy about it, because Shipman is mentioned.
I know, yeah. Oh,
a little bit edgy, that.
So that's the 3.
He's from your neck of the woods, isn't he, as well, Shipman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my mum's mum used to use him.
Okay, let's play a record.
Well, you want to play a record or play some adverts? Do you fancy some ads?
Oh, I'd rather adverts, yeah.
I've got some for you.
Placebo. This picture on XFM 104.9. Steve?
Yes.
I think Karl's going to put most people to shame. We were talking about generosity earlier. Karl is a nice, generous bloke when it really comes to it. He's paying for Father's Day. He's paying for the cottage that he's going away with his dad.
Are you really, Karl?
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's no way of us proving if that's true or not.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, you could be lying.
But why would I do that?
Well, because you want to show off.
I didn't do it on air, you mentioned it. I don't want people to know how generous I am.
Right.
Just do it. Just get on with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like charity work and that.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I'd have thought that you wouldn't have fallen for Father's Day. I'd have thought you'd have known that it was like...
Well, we don't. I mean, to be honest, it's a bit of a coincidence, because I paid for it anyway, and it's happened to fall on Father's Day. Right?
But don't
I mean,
buy a
Dad's
card.
not normally that bothered.
Don't fall for it. I mean, obviously that and Mother's Day and a plethora of other things were, I mean, literally invented by card companies to make more money.
I know.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, my dad always says don't get him a card or anything. Because he hates it. With all these things that I'd like, you know, rip-off times, really, just ripping people off.
Yeah.
So it sounds a bit stingy, that. But fair enough.
Well, no, I mean, he's right.
Yeah.
He's right. It's just, because fellas aren't bothered about getting cards anyway, are they? But the other thing that he noticed, you know, helping out the flower companies, the Princess Diana thing, when she...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Jesus. God.
So when...
Karl, what do you mean? What do you mean?
That's what he said. He said, "Oh,
I nearly swore then because I was. You surprise me all the time.
No, I'm
but
just,
that is incredible.
Sorry, what? I don't understand. What are you talking about?
All the flowers that were sort of sold that day.
Right. Or for people to leave as a commemoration? Or
yeah, they made a mint, didn't they?
Who did?
Flower companies.
Right. So what are you saying?
He was just saying, you know, makes you wonder.
What? About what? Whether it was in the floor or behind the hit.
Oh.
So it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy by the flower companies.
I would love to see you and your dad just sitting at home watching a bit of Channel 5 when apes go mental, right? With your roast dinner.
When's that on?
And then talk like, well, yeah, you know, kill Diana, don't you? Flower company's son. Right, quite right, Dad, you're not wrong. What are you talking about?
No, I'm not, you know, I'm just saying, it's like you were saying about the cards, you know, on Father's Day and that. It's just a bit,
too much of a
bit weird.
Too much of a coincidence.
I'd be interested to see sort of, you know, like the business graph.
Sure. Yeah.
On how the companies were doing, then suddenly.
Yeah. Yeah. But then by the same token, Elton John, you know, he had the biggest selling hit record, didn't he, off the back of that?
Mm.
I mean, so, is he incriminated as well?
If you want, I mean...
It's a conspiracy theory you've not kind of analysed terribly closely. You've put it out there, and if people maybe who are investigating want to kind of add that into their inquiries, then they can.
Yeah.
Sure.
But, no, that's all I'm saying. I'm just, you know... Because it's always the same thing, isn't it? Like, I was out shopping the other day, you know, treating Suzanne like I do. You know, I like spending money and that.
Yeah.
I was in WH Smith's.
Yeah. Oh, classy. Was it a big birthday? Was it? Was it a 30th?
No, I was getting a.
Was it 2 biros for the price of 1?
I was getting a card for my dad for Father's Day anyway, because I'm seeing him.
Yeah.
Big Toblerone.
Yeah.
There was a giant
who is it who said Father's Day? They love a Toblerone.
I've never understood Toblerone because the only time I see Toblerone is in airports, right, and minibars. That is what the small Toblerone is for the minibar in a hotel, 3-star upwards, and the big Toblerone.
Well, it's the big Toblerone is a gift, isn't it? It can only be a gift. You wouldn't buy a big Toblerone for yourself.
Yeah, duty-free gift. The Toblerone. It's next to you know, Chanel No. 5 Toblerone and a bear.
But who specifically would you be buying that Toblerone for?
I don't know.
Someone who's clearly never had it before and would think it was interesting novelty.
Yeah.
Well, this gift's interesting.
I'll tell you what, though, Toblerone is brilliant. I mean, if whoever makes that, if they want to send sort of, you know, some Toblerones, I mean, I will eat Toblerone.
Well, yeah. I think very much the same about, I think very much the same about fags.
And of course...
Just cigarettes. If you've got any boxes of cigarettes that you don't want, you know, duty-free or whatever, send them.
I'd just like to say that, in no way do I endorse Karl's dad's theory that flower companies were behind the death of Diana.
No.
Maybe I could say that on air as well, just to save any complaints.
I'll tell you what, though, talking about fag packets and that, do you know, like now, they've got, if you have these, they'll do you in, sort of thing, on the front now. They've got these special stickers on them.
Yeah.
I saw a thing in a magazine the other day. In Brazil, it's got, like, pictures of ill people on them.
Blimey, that is
It's gone really, hardcore over there.
That's good, isn't it?
But, I mean, to be fair, what more can they do? I mean, there are fag packets now that say these will kill you, and people are still smoking them. I mean, I don't know what they could, I don't think the message is getting through.
You could ban them altogether, I suppose. If it seems weird to, sort of like, you might as well sell guns and go, careful, you can kill people with these. Well, ban them then. I'll just be careful. You have your eye out with that. This is poison. This is poison. These are really, really mental poison drugs.
You know those people with you ever see them in the street, they're selling fags, duty free obviously, they're just selling them on the street. You know, have you ever seen these guys? I walk up and down Finchley Road Lock, because I'm just near my place. And, all these people, they're sort of looking a bit shifty, and then they think that you're maybe a smoker. They just, fags, and they'll open their jacket, and it literally will be like something from, the 1940s.
They won't go for you though, do they?
Yeah, smoking, stunts you growth. They know you must have never had a fag in your life.
But, I might be buying them as a gift or something, because I'm quite a generous guy. But it struck me, I was chatting with my friend about, there seems to be there are certain people who are very, maybe they have trouble getting work, or maybe they, they're immigrants who've not landed on their feet and they've had trouble, and so there's a couple of jobs they can do. It seems to be there's the fag selling. There's those people I noticed on Oxford Street who bend a piece of wire into the shape of your name. I mean, what kind of a gift is that, really? You know what I mean?
I know.
It's like, they're literally giving them out. Or you can have the bending the name. You can be selling those things that you throw at the wall and they sliver down.
At Dover?
Yeah.
What are you doing? I'm a trained carpenter.
Right. Can you write really small on a piece of rice?
I could try.
Could you write those names on a piece of rice?
I could try.
It's quite tricky, but
what about the rest of your family? Well, that one's only 2, but he could be trained. He's got smaller fingers.
Okay. Do you want to sell some knocked off perfume? How about that?
Again, we'd like to apologise for any inadvertent racism. Suggestion that Lady Diana was killed by flower companies, or that Steve makes a habit of stealing from cash points.
What about
XFM 104.9.
a picture of Rick Waller on the front of a bargain bucket?
Red Hot Chili Peppers, universally speaking, on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant, and, of course, Karl Pilkington. Now, people come up to me, and they say, is Karl for real? And I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, they want to say, is he that stupid? And the answer is yes, right? Some people think that he's putting on. Some people think that he's a character that we've invented, like we've got an actor in, like he's a Gareth Keenan or a Tim or something. And I go,
that we've scripted.
Exactly, yeah. No, he's absolutely real, aren't you, Karl? I go, where did he come from? Well, just to tell the story, we came here and, I was much too important to run the desk myself this time round. So they just gave us a tea boy.
Steve came in with you, I remember that.
Yeah. Why do you remember that?
Well, Steve knows. I don't want to keep going over it, but it's just the way he looks. It's just
Were you taken aback?
A little bit.
Yeah. Right. And he's just developed into my favourite thing. I also said that you get bored with, like, battling tops or, pets sometimes. I mean, I love my cat, but he's not as,
Colin.
my cat. Yeah.
Colin.
Actually, Carl's away next week. Is he available to run the desk?
No. Well, he's actually not as intelligent as Karl, and that's the truth. He's not, he's
marginally.
Yeah, but and then in the week, he's like one of those little Tamagotchi toys, Karl, because I have to phone him every day and keep his interest up.
Yeah.
Like I'd give him an interesting fact. And, I got a book out and I found out I'd call Karl like that. And I thought this was a great fact, right? A 2-day-old gazelle can run faster than a racehorse. Right? I thought that was incredible.
Sure.
Okay. So I phoned him up, I said, a 2-day-old gazelle can run faster than a racehorse. He went, what does it do after that? I went, what? He said, well, how fast can it run when it's adult? I went, well, even faster. He went, oh, I thought we could just do it then, but then it sort of lost it. I went, what are you talking about? I went, that's incredible. A 2-day-old gazelle can run He went, well, no, that's what they do. I went, what? He went, that's what they do, isn't it? I went, what do you mean? It's 2 days old. Right? He went, yeah, but a 1-day-old fly can fly. I'm 30 and I can't fly. It's not what I do. Right? And I went, right. He went, a jellyfish can hold its breath underwater for hours. I went, it doesn't hold its breath, does it? It hasn't got lungs. So he went, what? I know I had him. He went, what do you mean? I said, well, they don't breathe, do they? He went, what do they do? I went, well, they get oxygen directly from the water via osmosis straight into their cells. And it just went quiet. And I went, a 2-day-old gazelle? And he went, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
He was just thinking about the jellyfish.
Yeah. I know.
He was looking up osmosis, and then he was thinking about the jellyfish.
But I just think, if Bambi's anything to go by, this little gazelle spends a whole day trying to stand, and the next day it enters the derby. And you don't think that's incredible?
Yeah. See, you know the sort of things I find incredible.
Go on.
Mirrors. Shiny objects.
Kettles.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, listen, remember the time when I told you about the baby that had a baby?
The baby that had a baby.
The baby that had a baby?
Yeah.
It's happened again.
No, it hasn't.
Well, it didn't happen the first time.
It was in the papers, I think, on Monday, in all the tabloids.
So it's a twin where one has grown and the other one is still at a fetal level.
No, it wasn't, though. It had grown. He was saying to his mum...
who was saying to his mum?
The little kid who was 7 years old. And he kept saying... Yeah. He was pregnant.
And he was pregnant?
Yeah. I know.
What do you mean?
And he was saying to his mum, oh, God, I don't feel well. And, like, his belly was all swollen, and they thought he'd just been eating cake or whatever. And he was saying, I can feel something moving about, and they were like, stop messing about, there's nothing wrong with you. Eventually, I think he was in gym at school.
In gym? What, Jim was pregnant with him? Oh, no, it was like a Russian doll.
He was at school, right, just about to do sit-ups or whatever they do at school.
Yeah.
Right? And
flew out across the room.
teacher goes, you're a bit fat.
You look a bit pregnant.
And so best to the doctors took him, said, you're 7 years pregnant or something like that.
What?
What? Or something like that?
You're 7 years pregnant.
Or something like that.
You say to the doctor, Karl, why don't you think about what you say before you say it?
See the reaction I get. Now the gazelle, I didn't get excited like that.
7 years pregnant.
Send it in. If someone's online at the moment, just having a look around, it happened on Monday or Tuesday. Because I told you at the pub quiz, didn't I, Steve? I said to you, I know the baby's had a baby.
Yeah.
And you were like, yeah, whatever.
Well, I just thought you were talking nonsense as ever.
Well, we'll find out.
You're 7 years pregnant.
Yeah.
You're a fool. Play a record.
Well, we've still got stuff coming up.
Monkey news?
Rockbusters answers. We'll have to get that out of the way soon, because we've got
What else there? Have we got a cheeky freak of the week?
Yeah.
Brilliant. America by Simon and Garfunkel on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, and I understand I'm about to read my words, Steve.
Well, once again, there's always someone, and it looks like it's Mike Lamb who has come to Karl's rescue.
Lambo's let me down then.
Doctors have removed a 4-pound baby boy from the stomach of his 7-year-old twin brother.
Yeah.
Alan Jan Niamatilev was
yeah.
born with the freak fetus growing inside him. For 7 years, it lived like a parasite until a school doctor became alarmed about Alan Jan's bulging tummy and took him to hospital. Surgeons who gave him a scan operated immediately, unaware that the baby was attached to the boy's blood vessels and still alive. They saved Alan Jan from certain death, but knew the 8-inch fetus was doomed. So there we are. Boy pregnant with his own twin brother by Barbara Davis. That was in the Mirror, apparently. So I've read on, and all the facts are right. They took him to the school. The parents didn't realise.
And that isn't even this week's Freak of the Week.
I mean, that's
you got that for free. You've got that. You can have that.
That's the free freak of the week.
free freak.
That's giveaway. That's like 13.5% extra.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you might get with hairspray or something. So that, I mean, if that's just the throwaway freak of the week, there are 2 freaks of the weeks there. If those 2 freak, I can't wait to see what the actual freak of the week is that people are paying for. Is it incredible, Karl?
I'll tell you what, something else you can have for free.
Go on.
Another sort of freaky thing, right? I was watching this programme in the week. Right?
What?
I don't know what it was. But it was about, I just saw this little fella on it, right?
What do you mean, little fella?
He was doing this history thing.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, I know what you mean. So is this he's found out that a Viking was a bit like him?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
He was boneless or something, or he's...
Well, that's the weird thing. What do you think of that, Steve?
He's what? He's boneless?
No, he was called Harry the Boneless or something.
Yeah, but you know what you're going to get there, don't you? That's what I mean. I always have a name, Elephant Man, you know. Harry the Boneless. Where is he? You know what I mean?
I'm meeting someone, waiter, what's his name? He's called Harry the Boneless. He's over there flapping around. Yeah. He's over there in the bucket, having noodles.
That's what I mean. But, do you reckon you could do that? Do you reckon you could have your bones taken out?
I love talking to him! He's brilliant, it's like talking to a 5-year-old.
I was asking Suzanne when she was watching it, and she was like, ask me later.
Yeah, brilliant.
She wanted to know about,
What did you said? You were watching this programme about history, right? About Vikings.
Like
you turned to your girlfriend and said, do you reckon you could have your bones taken out? Yeah. I love that. I mean, that is why you are my favourite thing.
What do you mean you think you can have your bones taken out? Firstly, why would you have your bones taken out?
If you've only got a small flat or something, and there isn't much room.
Yeah.
Right? And what I mean is, would all your organs still do the stuff?
No, they wouldn't.
You'd just be mush.
Listen, I'll teach you something now, right? The skeleton, right? Spam, yeah? Support, movement, anchorage. No, support, protection, anchorage, movement. Spam. That's what the bones do. Yeah? You couldn't stand up. You wouldn't be protected because they protect his rib cage, skull, of course. Anchorage, everything holds onto it. Every muscle is tethered to pull against something, like a crane, a pulley system, so you wouldn't be able to move at all. Do you know what I mean? So you'd be in a bucket. There'd be you'd die immediately, obviously. No, you can't have your bones taken out, Karl. I mean, why do you need to ask that question?
Sorry, but Boneless Bob, or whatever his name was. Harry the Boneless. he presumably didn't have any bones. I mean, that's why he had that name, obviously.
No, he did.
No, he's got the name.
Yeah, exactly. No, he was just...
I've had an email here from Graham, old Kent Road. He just says, I had a dream about Karl last night. Can I sue? I've no idea what he looks like apart from the baldness, and yet he turns up in the middle of my dream. I don't need this, it's harassment.
Yeah.
But people are having dreams about you now, Karl. You actually, it's like you're one of something that was created by the Brothers Grimm.
I had a dream. You know when people used to have anxiety dreams, they had like an exam or something, like you suddenly go to school and you realised, oh my God, you didn't have your trousers on, or I had an anxiety dream. I assume we started off in anxiety dream about The Office, about filming The Office, and we had to film in HMV, but someone hadn't cleared it, and so we had to find an R price. And I went, oh, okay, that'll do. And as I was walking there, right, I didn't have any shoes on, which is like an anxiety dream, but I looked down and I went, so what?
Yeah.
So I'm so lazy now, I think even anxiety dreams don't kick into me.
I'm not sure that's a dream. I think that's just a memory. I wouldn't be at all surprised if you
turned up with the film with The Office.
Yeah, with no shoes.
We don't need shoes.
When we were originally doing the pilot for the very first series, obviously Ricky's the main character, he's in it all the time. It's obviously important, this is our big chance to get something made for TV, it's going to launch our careers. And I turn up on the Monday, he's twisted his ankle. He has to be wheeled around in a wheelchair because he went out jogging, stepped on a tin can in the street and fell over.
Who left that there?
Like a 40-year-old man with brittle bone disease. He just twisted his ankle and he was out of action. It was pathetic.
Yeah, that was the pilot.
Absolutely pathetic.
But I still turned up, Karl. That's the sort of trooper I am.
Well, yeah, but you moaned the whole week.
Well, it hurt.
Well,
I didn't like having to go around in a wheelchair, did I? It's not pleasant, but in a weird way, it taught me all the problems.
Do you have anxiety dreams, Karl? Do you ever lie awake worrying about stuff?
Because I have a lot going on in my head.
Yeah.
I don't have that.
What do you do, rent it out to people?
Is it two monkeys swinging in a tie at the moment?
Yeah.
I just don't have that many dreams.
No.
I love that. I love the fact you don't have that many dreams. Well, you haven't had a decent night's sleep since you were 14, according to you.
12.
Really?
Yeah, so I
know what you meant. I know what you mean now, when sometimes you're so tired, because I'd forgotten that. You're so tired and you think, well, I'm so glad I don't have to go out tonight. I'm going to go and just lay on the couch and then go to bed. Yeah.
Have you had one, Steve? Have you?
Anxiety dreams, I do have them periodically, yeah. It used to be a lot of, things like running to get to school in time, but, suddenly your feet are running in treacle and you can hear the school bell and you
I haven't had them for years. I just haven't had an anxiety dream for years and years and years. Don't know. I just don't care.
No, you just genuinely don't care about anything. This is the problem. You've just got to a point now where nothing bothers you, really. It's like you're just too lazy and disinterested in anything. This show, your career, my career, Karl.
No, I never give up on Karl. So, Karl, so this little Harry the Boneless, what was your point? Was that really your point? You wondered if you could live without bones?
Yeah, I saw the little fella on this programme. And
the presenter?
Yeah. And he was a small fella, and he was talking about Harry the Boneless. And I thought, that's interesting little bit of science stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's about it on him, really.
All right, well, that's just another bonus cheeky freak of the week, isn't it?
That's not even the freak of the week either.
No.
That's still to come.
So you've had a pregnant Siamese twin.
It's been mad in
You've had a boneless fella and another fella talking about him. They're not even involved in Freak of the Week.
No.
This is getting mad. Play a record.
Let's play a record. Let's have Cheeky Freak of the Week afterwards, shall we?
Yeah.
Current single from Nick Cave.
Can we do Monkey News first?
I'd rather have a Cheeky Freak of the Week. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds, He Wants You.
Brilliant. Yeah. So, Karl, off you go.
Well, we're not going to do Freak of the Week here.
Okay.
Right? Because we've done quite a bit of that in the last 20 minutes.
We've
right? So
OD'd
we'll move
on
that.
freaks, you think?
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll just shift it a little bit.
Okay.
And I don't, like I keep saying, don't want people to be thinking we're sort of taking the mick out of anyone.
No.
Right? Because we're not about that. I feel like I can do a little bit of it because I work with you, Steve.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
It gives me that right.
It's like a care worker. Yeah, I understand.
Well, it's like that thing of you can't be homophobic because I've got a couple of gay mates and
Sure,
stuff.
sure.
I think sort of gives me that edge.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're not freakophobic because you work with Steve?
No, that's right, yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
Well, by that token, I should be able to sort of slag off, the mentally ill.
What do you mean?
At least mentally handicapped.
Now, there's a term you don't hear very often. In 2003, there was the
The mentally handicapped. Isn't that what it was?
I don't know where to start.
But I mean,
I'd like to apologise for the Lady Diana stuff, the term mentally handicapped, and any inadvertent racism that we may have stumbled
What's
over.
the actual term then? Is it retarded?
Right, come on now.
Oh, chimpanzee that!
Monkey news, earlier than usual.
I'll have to save this link now. Monkey news. We've done a lot of stuff, right, on monkeys. And most of it has been...
Is bollocks.
No, has been like happy stories.
Oh, is this it's not... Is this going to be like our tune? Our monkey tune. Simon Bateson, welcome to our monkey tune.
No, but do you know what I mean? We've done stuff about a monkey that robbed a bank.
Yeah. Why is that happy?
He had a great life after that. Right.
What, in Marbella?
Yeah. Right, we did the one who saved someone's handbag in a railway station.
We've had a lovely marriage, couple of marriages.
Couple of marriages.
Couple of monkey marriages.
Yeah, yeah.
There was the one who got a job in a railway station.
Yeah, the hairdresser.
The one who set up a business in Spain.
I don't even remember that one.
That one,
But, I'm willing to believe that happened. Go on then, Karl.
But anyway, yeah. So today's isn't that happy really. It's about some monkey. I think it was a chimp.
Who's an ape? Go on.
He tried to. I mean, the story sets off at a sort of a weird thing.
Yeah.
It's something about he went to Russia to do some business.
What are you talking about, Karl?
It jumped past that bit though. It didn't start there.
What are you...
Do you know what I mean? It didn't tell you what he was doing. It just said, "There's this monkey went to Russia
to do some business,
I know.
do some stuff,
I don't know.
bit of monkey business." And anyway, didn't work out.
So, they were furious. We wanted a surgeon. You send us a monkey.
Anyway, ended up being homeless.
Oh.
No, you're
So it was
joking.
taking a turn for the worst.
What, couldn't even get into like a tree hostel or anything like that?
That's the problem. And
God.
ended up homeless. Got in with some tramps.
I don't know where to start.
Come on.
So he's knocking about with some tramps and stuff. Sharing drink and what have you around a little fire. They broke into some home, not sort of squatted.
Right, so
Into
not
the flat.
homeless anymore.
Problem was, he had a roof over his little area head.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, this is good. This is, we're having a good time. This is sorting me out."
Yeah.
He had his
He
mate.
said that in Russian then. didn't he?
What was he eating?
I don't know. It didn't say. But they're in this house.
Well, he could only be eating sort of like, fruit, nuts, vegetables. I mean, they classically sort of don't eat, pork pies and.
But they've got
drink
McDonald's
coffee.
in Moscow now, so
Sure.
you probably chow down on that.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a bust.
What? I knew this was
There was a bust in the flat that they were squatting in. All the other tramps sort of knew what was going on, legged it, left little chimps out there, got arrested. And they thought it was a real fella at first. They were like, get him, he's obviously just a scruffy bloke who hasn't had a shave and stuff.
Yeah.
Hasn't shaved his back for a while.
Or his face.
Yeah.
His head.
Yeah.
Got him down the station. And the boss was like, what's going on here? We've got a monkey here. He was like, what? So you arrested a monkey?
Well, so the arresting officers hadn't noticed all the way to the station that he kept slipping out of the handcuffs and was going for the entire journey. They didn't notice till they got there. What, did they put a hood over his head maybe and just like, you know?
I don't know. I'll give you the story if you want. There's the headline.
What is it? What's the headline, Steve? I don't want to see it, but...
The headline, this is once again from supposedly reputable news organisation Ananova, homeless monkey arrested in Russia.
Did you read on, or did you see the headline and make up that whole story?
It's most of it is there.
What isn't there? What bit isn't there then?
No, I think you know. Steve can have a look over it, check it out and stuff.
Point out the embellishment for me, Steve, will you?
Well, what it doesn't say is that the police didn't realise it was a monkey.
That's what I was guessing. Really? That they got it back and they said, what are you doing? We've got a monkey here. And they go, yeah? Yeah. Oh, God.
There's some more monkey problems in the week. Have you seen the Alfords advert with monkeys in?
No.
There's a new advert out for Alfords selling bikes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's got some monkeys in it. It's caused an uproar.
Why?
People are saying it's, dressing them up in tracksuits and that is,
taking the mickey out of Manchester.
It's not nice for the animals and that. So there's been loads of complaints
But they get a free
about it.
bike or something, do they, I imagine?
I think they kept the tracksuits.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's the
after
thing,
this
though.
cheeky freak of the week.
No, I'm just saying we're not doing this to sort of, again, take the mickey out of the animals and stuff. These are true stories and that. But yeah, coming next, Freak of the Week.
Kings of Leon, Red Morning Light on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant and little Karl Pilkington. Getting excited because it's a special time of the week where he gets to talk about a cheeky freak of the week.
Well, just get Rockbusters out of the way, right? Because I've got to put these prizes in the post bag now, because I'm shooting off.
Yeah, because you've got to go early. So, I don't know how you do your job. You went to Manchester, you went to Madeira, you had a day off because your trousers were wet and you had a cold, and now you're shooting down to Cornwall, you're leaving early. How do you get your work done? And you've got one job. Me and Steve have got loads of things to do.
I'm fast at me work. Like I said, the prize is ready and packed up. Here. No one's being affected by me shooting off early. Right?
Okay.
So, Rockbusters answers, got to get them out of the way a bit earlier. Right? So, here they are. First one. He's got American coins all the way down his spine.
Yeah.
Why would that be? Right? Initial was N. Nickelback.
I got all these. I got all these this week.
Right. Second one, Jeremy Beadle has got arthritis. What's going on there?
Stiff little fingers.
SLF, stiff little fingers.
Yeah.
And the third one, Foxy, Shipman, and
No, and a country and western singer, you said. Now, what's the initial?
SD.
Yeah, so Spin Doctors. Yeah, I got that. And then I said to you, why is it a country and western singer? And you said Dr. Hook. Why is it Dr. Hook? Why does that give anyone the clue Dr. Hook? A country and western singer.
It's just what was in my mind when I
Well, there we are.
There you go. So we'll change this to Rockbusters, or What Am I Thinking? You could have had Dre.
What's in my mind? You could have had And the Medics. All right? Yeah. Just think it through.
Who's the winner?
The winner, very lucky, Sandra Cassidy of Leon C. She gets all those great prizes. You know, we've actually had people emailing in saying, this is the worst Rockbusters ever, because it was too easy, it was boring.
Oh.
This is just, don't shoot the messenger.
Oh, dear.
Other people saying, it really has run its course. Some people genuinely agree.
Oh, Karl, this must hurt, mate.
Stinging attacks on you. Some people just slagging you off generally, saying that you whinge all the time.
It looks like Steve was right when he sort of like poo-poos your ideas.
So
when he wheezed on your bonfire.
Someone else, I swear to God, someone else emailed in and said, don't bother sending me the prizes, take them to a charity shop, or pawn them, give me the money, I'd rather have it. So I don't know what to say, Karl. I just wonder if it really has run its course now.
All right, well, we'll see what you come up with next week, then. Let's see what you do. Let's see what you come in with.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
At 5-1. I'm guessing you'll be popping in with another hip hop track full of effing and jeffing.
Well,
again,
no, I won't bring it into you. I'll do it myself at home. Because obviously that's easier. Obviously you can't cope.
Oh dear.
Are you actually going to be here next week, or are you still going to be in Cornwall?
No, you see there again. I'll be back in time. And in the week when I go to Cornwall to see the Monkey World.
Yeah, you're 2 days past the Monkey World.
That still work.
Yeah.
Still work? What?
What, you're going to interview some of the monkeys?
I love
stories?
that. I love that. You were going, could a monkey live without bones? And so I'm going, Karl, shut the please, just look at the monkeys and eat your ice cream. And that's work, is it?
Right.
Right, are we having Cheeky Freak of the Week?
Do you want to do it?
What time have you got to shoot off?
Could do with shooting off sort of soonish,
Okay.
to be honest.
This is not radio. Have you ever heard that on a radio show? Chris Tarrant going, I can't shoot off right now. I couldn't get a later train.
I know! Why did you get a later train? There isn't a later train. So I couldn't get to Cornwall tonight if I had to. If I had to finish this show, I couldn't possibly get to Cornwall.
Rubbish. Of course there's a later train.
Oh, I've booked it now anyway.
Right, well that's the point, isn't it? Yeah. You're not thought
whatever. I don't think the show's lost anything. I think we've still had the, Freak of the Week's coming up now.
Oh, cheeky Freak of the Week.
Right, well, we've had some interesting things we've been looking at. This week, it's about the strangest couple that ever got married.
And we've had 2 sets of chimps, so it's stranger than that. Oh, it's not Dale Winton and Nell McAndrew, is
It's not your parents, is it?
Well, we're going back again to I think this is about 19...
Something like that.
1940.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Strangest couple, a fella, right? He had the skin of a lizard.
He had the skin of a lizard, okay.
And the woman who he
Which he
married...
used as a condom.
The woman who he married, airiest woman ever.
Right.
And that was their act. They used to tour the world, and they'd say, it's like, couple who've met, they're having a great life. Let's get them out on stage, here they are. And they'd
what do you mean he had the skin of a lizard, first of all?
That's what he said. He had some sort of, some illness.
So he was called Lizard Man, and you like that because it was good description.
I thought that's good.
Hello, we've booked a table for 2. Who are you meeting? I'm meeting Lizard Man. Oh, he's over there.
Yeah.
You know he is, right?
Yeah.
I'm meeting the hairiest woman in the world. She's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did they do for their act?
Now, bear in mind that we had some Siamese twins last week, and their act was having a bath.
Yeah.
So I hope it's an improvement on that.
What did Lizard Man? He came out and ate some flies, did he?
I don't really know. I just think they stood there and that.
Yeah, when you read this and it goes the most interesting fact ever, Lizard Man, and you go, that's enough. That's enough. I can extrapolate from that.
Well, straight away I start thinking. I'm thinking, right. I wonder if they got the wedding photos. Right? And then, like you said, that they had a kid.
Oh, what would that be like?
Exactly.
It'd be like an ostrich, wouldn't it? It would sort of like.
That's what I was thinking.
What did you think it would come out like, the baby?
I didn't think what that looked like. I just was thinking, parents' evening. Do you know what I mean?
You wouldn't want them coming up to the school, would you?
So little Johnny, who starts off relatively normal, he's quite good at, he's good at nature, isn't he? And his mum and dad come into the room and they'd be looking round, wouldn't they?
Well, it's always like that thing at school when, like, you find out your mate's mum and dad are really old.
Right,
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
When you go, your gran and granddad bought you?
Yeah.
My mum and dad.
Yeah.
And you go, oh.
It is weird.
What's that we're talking about? He calls him mum. What was that? Oh, sorry.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
that's always strange. If you had Godzilla and King Kong as your parents, and it was,
they're
like
always fighting.
They're always fighting, and like you say, if you're in a school play or something, you wouldn't tell them, would you? You wouldn't want them coming up with a video camera.
He didn't tell his parents he was in the...
Well, exactly.
You did Little Donkey, you didn't tell your dad, did you? And he came along and videoed it.
Yeah. Kept it quiet, don't want them to know anything.
But you didn't... What was it was meant to be playing? You had a little drum, didn't you?
Yeah, I was doing... I had a little drum. I think I was meant to be playing We Three Kings.
Yeah.
But we started doing Little Donkey and I thought I can add a touch to this.
Sure, you improvised.
Started playing along.
It was like the first remix, wasn't it?
It went down well. But yeah, that's all I was thinking with the Freak of the Week this week. That's what I'm saying about Freak of the Week. It's to get people thinking, right? Thinking how lucky they are. That, you know, they don't have to
comb their face. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Freak of the Week is to let people know how lucky they are.
Just...
What about the little freak you're talking about? What are they thinking? They're going, oh, he's talking about me. I'm a little hairy lizard man on a stick.
Pop in, give us a call. I thought, you know, that's what I'd like to do on a TV programme. That's what I want to do. I want to go and, like, meet these people and say, right, let's just go shopping. Let's, you know, we'll film what your normal day's like.
Yeah.
Let's pop out. Nip into Sainsbury's or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, buy a comb.
Park right up close to it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So what you're saying is you just want to get a little message out there, which is that there's always someone worse off than you.
Well, there's proof of that in this room. You know what I mean?
Oh, Karl, when's your train?
In a minute, I'm going to get going now. I'll see you later.
Thanks, Karl.
Brilliant. What are you planning to play a song?
Kirsty McCall.
Yeah.
I'll see you later.
Kirsty McCall, New England. Karl Pilkington has left the building. He's rushed away. He's on his way down to Cornwall. And we're left by ourselves.
Indeed.
In the room. See, if we can do this...
If we can press all the buttons and not make any mistakes, strictly speaking, there's no need for Karl.
I don't mind if we make mistakes.
Well, no, exactly.
We never were in the old days.
No, sure.
I think Karl is going to love Cornwall. Because I think, one, the mayor is probably an animal.
Yes.
And I imagine the townsfolk think like Karl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I imagine he'll stay there. He'll be made king.
Have you ever seen Return of the Jedi? In Return of the Jedi, the Ewoks, the little furry creatures, they see C-3PO, and because he can talk and he can speak their language, they actually elevate him to godlike status.
What are you doing here?
Hooray!
He's back.
What are you doing?
You could have stayed till the end.
I'll see you later.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Right.
Right, well, there he is. He's on his way.
Yeah, if
Cornwall.
you're listening online in Cornwall, I mean, I can't imagine that's ever going to happen. But, you know...
on a clothesline with a bean tin at one end and a big bean tin in London. Or if I'm cool in London.
Yeah, or if the foil helmet you wear to fend off laser rays from aliens out of space are somehow picking up the show, then Karl's on his way. Look forward to meet the bold one.
Because he's got a sort of like, you know, the obligatory sort of red face that would go well down there now. Because I think he's been out in the sun, or he was... pre-boiled when he came in. But he's rushing down to Cornwall now, going from Paddington Station. So, you know... If
you're in the Paddington Station area, you want to pop down there and sort of wave him off, then do. Yeah. Don't be afraid.
That's not a dirty sexual act.
Wave him off.
Yeah, I'd love to wave him off. And, call in the week as well, karl.pilkington@xfm.co.uk. Send him anything. Just clog up his email.
Yeah.
I mean, because he gets stressed at work. So if you can send him 3 or 4 emails each over the next week, so he's got to read them all, but disguise them, don't make them look rubbish, so at least he's got to sort of open them and look at them, or, you know, some of them might be correspondence, so he will, you know, just phone his line as well, just ask for XFM, ask Karl, and leave long messages on his voicemail.
Yeah.
So if you can, just for us, just for me and Steve, remember, it is mine and Steve's show. Karl is merely like, you know, the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
If Karl can come back maybe next Friday or Saturday or Monday, whenever he comes back, to about 250 emails and 200 voicemail messages.
If you put down, when it says what's the name of the message, the title of the message, if you put monkey news or monkey information, he'll have to open it then, because he'll be intrigued, even if it's not about monkeys.
Yeah.
Do that anyway.
Yeah. Voicemail messages. Leave them long. I like this information. Disguise it, so it might be important.
Yeah.
Just so he has to listen through. I wish I'd give his mobile out, but, you know, that is just too cool. But anyone can get him at XFM, and of course we've given out his email before, so I mean, go mental.
There are plenty of ways to torture Karl Pilkington. I mean, we're doing all we can on a Saturday,
but we're only 2 people.
But we're only 2 men.
You know what I mean? So listen, go berserk. We'll be back next Saturday, and we'll leave with a song for the lovers, song for the ladies, whatever. It's a beautiful track.
A song for the sunshine.
Song for the Sunshine. It's Lily White by Cat Stevens. And we've done it. We don't need Karl.
Definitely not. See you next week, Rick.
Bye.